Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome in. I hope you guys have had a good day. Let's go ahead and get this party started, shall we? As today we're showcasing the Forts Pro League Season 2 playoffs. It's going to be a great time. Thank you guys for stopping in so early as we are just getting started here. As you guys may know, there will be a 2-minute delay on all things chat, so we won't be having a whole lot of chat interaction. Instead, we'll be focusing on the good games for the fans. Excellent. All right. All right then. So looks like we're about set up here from the caster's side of things. For those who are new, make sure to check out the Twitch category. We have a fair few other casters who will be joining us today. For example, we have Zaltzwerk, who is currently broadcasting these very same matches, but in the German tongue. We also have, and I struggle to. I probably shouldn't try to pronounce it because I struggle every time. We do have a French caster as well, currently going by the name of Communauté Forts FR. They'll be broadcasting these same matches here. Pile has some issues. Yeah, I believe I'm noticing, at least so I've been told, we are a mild hold up here before we jump into the actual action. But for the moment, I'm going to hop onto Discord where we'll be joined by Nosehead, one of the Forge developers here. Well, hello there.
Hello, Incursus. How you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Excellent. It's an exciting day when there is a FPL final happening.
I know, right? I'm so excited every time. These matches are just top tier every single time.
Top tier. Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing some high skill and intense Forts action.
Absolutely. Speaking of high skill, looks like the very first match we're going into here is going to be a little bit exciting. It's going to be Veterans versus Westwind. Veterans, for those who haven't been following the FPL, comprised of Eaton and Fireworks. So we have some particularly, shall we say, explosive start?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you want to say
Let me actually,
to everyone in chat, say hello to Nosehead. Go ahead and introduce yourself here and tell us a little about yourself.
Let's see. Well, hello. I am Nose, and I am one of the developers on Forts. Specifically, I tend to focus on the audio side of things, but sometimes I try and help out on the community side of things and tournaments and what have you. And yeah, so that's me.
Hey, you'll love to hear it. Alright, it looks like the players are here, so we just got another moment before we actually start the first match. And it looks like we're good to go. So we'll be jumping into the match shortly. Remember, quick shout out to Zaltzwerk for broadcasting these very same matches, but in the German language. We know there's a lot of you German natives out there who love to join in on the Forts action. But here we're off. Here we're off to round one of the Forts Pro League season finals. Where here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Veterans. Firework and Eaton banding together for this particular season of the FPL. They're playing as the Seep Commander. The Seep Commander is the nuclear launch detected in a bottle. So we're going to be seeing some kind of swarm missile rush coming out of them. We'll see how that works out for them. They'll be facing off against their opponents, Westwind, Geiger, and Melme. Speaking of Germans, we've got a pair of them over here, and they're both looking to launch some more missiles at their opponents. That's right, we're in a Seep mirror match, so we're going to get missiles flying to and fro out of both sides here. The question is, who launches first and who launches last?
Incursus, who do you think is the favorite to win out of these, well, I guess out of the 4 teams that are playing?
I'm going to go with Veterans. Just like watching... I was watching a bit of StarCraft recently, and just looking at the... I'm going to compare Eaton to Cyril in StarCraft, because it's just the win percentage of Eaton in particular is so much higher than everyone else that it's like a statistical anomaly.
Yeah, his track record is pretty incredible. His consistency. The the Veterans didn't lose a game all season, and it's pretty impressive. Looking at his
really
current ranked performance, he's 100% win rate. So he's as formidable as they come.
Exactly. It's awesome to watch him work. And I understand there is an argument that I hear every so often say, oh no, not Eaton again because it's too predictable. But I am very mechanically focused, and I love watching this man work.
Yeah.
It's
I guess he's become like, the Mount Everest of forts, right?
That's a good way to
other
describe
teams
it.
must try to conquer, right?
I just want to shout out to Firework, who just caught his trunk from collapsing. It got disconnected and he just caught it in midair. You don't see that every day. It's gonna be demoralizing for Melme over here. Interesting note, Team Westwind's actually ahead in their missile production capacity, so they're getting their missiles online a bit faster. They're also ahead in the economy game. They're ahead in everything, with the exception being that Eaton's base is more stable than Geiger's. That's it. Eaton's a little ahead of Geiger in economy. Geiger's further ahead in tech. Malme on firework comparison, Malme's just ahead flat across the board everywhere. And so we're curious to see how this pans out. Like, for perspective, Eaton hasn't even started the upgrade center yet, whereas Geiger's finished their upgrade center. So Westwind could be launching nukes coming up in the next 45 seconds. Whereas Veterans has to go through the entire tech production, starting right now, before they could even begin upgrading their nukes. So this will mean that unless something dramatic happens in the next 45 seconds or so, Team Westwind's going to have the first nuke to launch. Well, first to launch the nuke can make a massive difference, especially if it lands and gets real damage dealt. Ooh.
It was like Eaton was trying to get Malme's core from underneath there.
Oh yeah, that is a fairly common tactic these days, especially at the higher level. You don't see it outside of like the Forts Amateur League or anything like below the Forts Amateur League. You tend to not see it too much. Just the token EMP launching. Side effect, this is one of those situations where you're baiting your opponent into doing the right thing. By getting the EMP, it's motivating Team Westwind to get anti-air. And in doing so, they will be prepared to at least make an effort toward knocking the nuke out of the sky when Team Veterans eventually launches it. Oh! That sniper just headshot the fire beam while it was in production. Oh, and he gets it! Oh, that's devastating. Firework loses a weapon to it just being exposed. It's just painful to see that. It's like you make an effort to defend it, and then it just... This sniper happens. There goes the nuke. Solid hit, but
Connection
nothing yet.
was.
Solid hit. The anti-air out of Team Veterans not got quite enough, but the nuke didn't deal catastrophic damage. It didn't cause any massive deformation. It didn't break anything important. It definitely hurts. Like that's a big repair bill, but what it isn't is game changing. Interesting note here. Eaton in the forward base is actually constructing a swarm missile right in the middle of his base. You don't see that every day.
You don't.
He's actually replaced one of his mines to do that.
Oh.
Again, the nuke out of Westwind managed to land it, and it smacks Eaton right in his front door, taking him down, knocking 40% off of his core. And again, enough anti-air out of Westwind. Yeah, it just shuts down Veterans' push. Let's see if this changes up any. It looks like we got another launch coming out of Team Westwind. Commander ability active. The activated commander ability increases the travel speed of the nukes. Well, of all rockets in general. Makes it that much more difficult to get across. See, right, knock it out of the sky before it gets across. And nuke lands.
Oh.
Heavy damage, and with a laser follow-up, that's it.
Wow.
The 1-2 punch, and Westwind loses their forwardmost base.
Yeah.
And that's the difference there, guys. Eaton took a nuke to the face and only lost 40%. Geiger, cut off at the knees. Now, it's worth noting that Westwind is not out of it just yet. If you see here, they have actually reclaimed the nuke. So while massive damage has been dealt, it hasn't actually knocked them out of the game just yet. Mind you, they are at a severe disadvantage and things can get a little messy. As I can tell you right now, Team Veterans is not going to be happy about Westwind having control of this entire side of the map, and they're going to be putting in some effort to make sure that it doesn't remain that way. Nuke flies, but doesn't quite get any real damage done. At this point, Eaton's base is bulky, to the point where it just face tanks the nuke and just doesn't care, like at all. Malma takes a sneaky hit, snaking underneath their defenses, touching the core, igniting it a bit. A solid nuke hit straight across the front of Malma's base.
And he's got another nuke as well.
Oh, yes. Oh, remember that swarm missile launcher he built in the middle of his base? It's a nuke now. So that's about to happen. Kind of surprised to see they didn't time the nuke launch with the buzzsaw there, just to make sure it disconnects all that anti-air. Or maybe they will. No, they won't.
Wow.
Oh!
Wow. That was awesome.
Over then under. Eaton is obliterated. Just direct hit to his core, and he's gone. Fortunately for team veterans, they too are able to simply reclaim their allies once base. So this is now a 1v1, Firework versus Melman, with 2 players eliminated and absolutely no major consequence to that. Both players, all of their weapons are still available. Their economy is still mostly intact for both sides. Like it's... Oh, good God. Welcome to nukes.
This is awesome.
I did not expect that nuke to snake up and over it. I think Eaton did not.
Yeah, clearly.
No one saw that one coming. Now, I still put veterans in the lead here for 2 reasons. Aside from them technically having more eco by slightly, they also have a second nuke launcher, which is an incredibly big deal. But what's more, they also have double fire beam. And while double fire beam isn't super important here in this matchup, it is also more damage output than West Wind has.
Oh, good AA there at the end.
Yes. I'm interested to see here. Eaton's once base, right at the bottom, is vulnerable to a buzzsaw. It's a very narrow shot, but I'm pretty certain Malmez saw it and just elected not to try again. But that could actually disconnect a majority of the defenses here in front, which would be a pretty devastating blow to team veterans here. Trying to use the buzzsaw for anti-air doesn't quite pan out. Okay. Let's see. Alright, so this is... I'm seeing what looks to be a bit of a tech switch out of Firework. I was about to say, like, I'm looking at this thinking, like, are we just going to see a nuke slog? Like, to be fair, just throwing nukes at each other for the rest of the game is absolutely a strong and good idea. Like, if you're looking to win the game, just throw more nukes at your opponent. It works eventually. But sometimes you try to mix it up a little bit, and I think we're starting to see that out of Firework here. Notably, they've added in an additional storage facility, metal storage, which implies that they want to get some of those bigger, more expensive weaponry, like, say, a plasma beam. The plasma, well, laser weapons in general. Oh,
jeez.
That could have been bad. As I was saying before, it's so rudely interrupted by Firework's own self-destructive tendencies. Plasma and laser weapons in general are particularly well suited for follow-up weapons or support weapons for the missiles of every kind.
Oh, that was
Perfectly timed.
Oh, it stopped the nuke launch.
Yes. For those wondering, it costs money to trigger the nuke, or rather any weapon. But the weapon, specifically the nuke, doesn't actually launch for a couple seconds after being triggered. So what happened there is we saw the nuke designated, but before it actually launched, the nuke launcher was disconnected from the main fort and therefore canceled the launch procedures. So the nuke was paid for, but didn't actually fire, which is kind of important, actually. Quick shout out to Firework, who's building a plasma, almost has it finished, from this location.
Yeah, not seeing a lot of new weapons from Malme here.
Yeah, Malme has been pretty rightly on the back foot.
Yeah.
They haven't had a good opportunity to place weapons. We notice here they haven't floated much metal at all, sitting at a whopping 322 metal floated or lost over the course of the entire game. So they're being very efficient with things. It also means that they've just not had money laying around to spend, mostly because they've been getting hammered by double nuke, double fire beam for the past, 6 minutes?
Yep.
So that's not a surprise. At this point,
And
it is a bit of a game of attrition, and Team Veterans is winning. Slowly, but winning nonetheless.
And they, Westwind has lost a swarm.
Yes, and just like anything else, the swarm loss is huge. Mind you, Team Westwind does have a fully completed plasma beam here. Has it yet been revealed, although I suspect
No.
Firework is aware of it, or at least... Oh, that's devastating. So remember when I said this was a game, this is a battle of attrition? Team Westwind just lost another 3 mines, which puts them pretty far back in the whole attrition warfare.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's real unfortunate. Malmay is getting ground to dust, shot by shot. It's not a fast process, but it is a fairly consistent process, it would seem. Like it's trending one direction. Oh no. From under the door. So that actually puts Westwind with very few weapons at all. The only major weapon they have on the field right now is the nuke. But a nuke alone does not make it across the field.
Yeah. Shot.
And that's it.
That was awesome.
From below it comes.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is your match 1. Veterans will take this victory.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was great play by Firework, and you can see why Eaton likes him as a teammate.
Oh yes, I do want to do a quick replay of the moment that nuke went flying. Look at this. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Give me a second. Something is screaming at me and I don't know what it is.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's see who we're going to have up here next. Looks like we're going to have Pro Aim versus Greenleaf, I think. Once we finish the best of 3.
Alright, figured it out. It was my EPS. So if I suddenly disappear off the face of the planet, you'll know why.
Okay.
I was sitting here like, this is not coming through my headphones. This is something in the outside world that's trying to get my attention.
Oh, yeah.
What is going on?
What was it?
My UPS, which implies that it's dying.
Oh, right. Interesting.
So, yikes. Yeah, can't do a whole lot without power. So, we're at the moment it's working, but we'll see if that changes in the near future.
So it's best of 3 for these semifinals. The finals is a best of 5.
Yes.
And I believe we have a bronze match, don't we? It looks like we do. And that's a best of 3 as well.
Yes, it's best of 3s all the way to the finals. The final match.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, so now we just need the players to ready up, or once they are ready, and we'll be jumping into the next match.
That was classic. I thought there for a while that that veterans were, you know, gonna lose it there.
They might actually drop a match.
You know, yeah.
It did.
Classic.
It did get close there for a moment.
It did.
It was scary. You know, that's why I say nukes always a great time. You have no idea what's gonna go on with them, because
this is true.
it's kind of the point. Oh, look, it's another mirror match. This time the sides are swapped. Here we have on the left-hand side, it is Geiger and Malma. Team Westwind playing as the Warthog Commander. The Warthog Commander choice kind of sort of implies that there's a... kind of sort of implies that you've got a desire to rush up to heavy weapons and pummel the opponents out of the game. A strategy that Team Veterans seems to agree with because they've chosen the same thing. Playing on the right-hand side here, we've got Eaton and Firework. Let's see how the individual implementations of this strategy between players affects this matchup. So given the strategy, the chosen strategy for the players, we're going to have about 4 minutes of a whole lot of not much going around. Which is to be expected. Not terribly unusual for a Forts Pro League match, but someone lied to me. It was me. We have nukes coming out of Firework. Did not expect. And Team Westwind is aware of this and is sending strongly worded... He actually hit the thing. He hit it twice. He broke it. Oh! Strongly worded cease and desist letters. Okay. That I didn't expect. That's going to set Firework back a bit because the Firework, well, that's kind of expensive. More importantly, Geiger and Melme are aware of the impending nukes. So that's kind of a big deal. All right. So unsurprisingly, we do have heavy weapons rush coming out of both players on Team Westwind. It's the nuke rush that's surprising me out of Team Veterans. So I am curious, rush isn't even a good word for it. Like, this man's going up to 3 upgraded mines. It's just, he's playing nukes with Eaton going for laser support, which I presume will be plasma focus, so we should be a plasma beam here. About 10-ish seconds being placed down. And right now, there it is. All right.
And
So-
howitzer on Westwind.
Yes, howitzer is fairly commonplace for this kind of thing. It just howitzer strong. That's the only way to describe it. That EMP fully just made it across the field, facing down 2 machine gunners and slapped one of them out of the game. Love
And
it.
that was the second time this done it.
Yeah. Scary, but there is
Scary.
a sandbag wall. A firework expects this kind of thing. Alas. We'll see if the AP sniper, not something you see every day, but should cause a little bit of panic out of Geiger here. Eaton already prepared for the buzzsaw, which he definitely did on reaction because he wasn't prepared for it before the buzzsaw. Alright, and we see Geiger here defending against the AP snipe. AP sniper just running havoc. It hasn't done a whole lot, but it has hit many things and has caused Team Westwind to react quite strongly. As the first nuclear launch coming out of Firework. Virtually no opposition. It lands. Team Westwind is ready for it. Oh, but the sniper follow-up. Oh, swing and a miss. You can still do it. You can still do it. Surely you still... Okay, well, no, they've defended now.
Nope.
Okay. Westwind not having it. Once more, the nuke flies. Looks like they're going with the ablative armor style. The expensive way to defend against it, but the most consistent.
Wow.
Oh,
jeez.
there it is. Yep. That's the, if you thought the howitzer...
Oh.
Woo, woo, woo.
Just a bit of AA.
Like, I saw the machine gunners. Like, I was fully aware that howitzer was going to have a rough time getting across, but my god, it just hits different when you actually see the wall of blood coming out of him.
It was so synchronized.
Just immediately taken down. As I was saying, if you thought the howitzer was good at causing splash damage, oh, the nuke's just that much better. And the plasma follow-up, is that lethal? No. Eaton doesn't have the energy to follow it up. Okay. Yeah, he needs to expand his energy production and capacity before he's able to follow up with lethal intent. Instead, utilizing his current weapon set to protect the nuke as it goes across. I like the turbines. Just all the way in the corner. All right. Once more we launch. Preemptive firing out of the machine gun is to try to get something done, but it's not gonna do anything. As that's some deep penetration.
Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. Oh, it's gone.
That did way more damage than I expected it to do. Holy smokes.
It was the weapons exploding on the ground, causing extra damage.
Yes. Secondary explosions are devastating.
Yeah.
Okay. The sweeping beam. I thought you fixed that. Oh boy.
Oh,
And
here we
just
go.
like that, Team Veterans goes 2-0 in this first match.
Wow, they did not mess around there.
They did not, and that was beautiful. You'll love to see it. I want to see that collapse once more because that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was particularly satisfying.
Let's go ahead and bring up down the replay real quick. Because here comes the nuke from below. Splashing everything with a bit of damage for the plasma beam to just cut through it all. God, look how deeply it penetrates through damaged struts. So what breaks next is my question.
The answer is yes.
I mean, you're not wrong. Whew. And he's gone.
That's great.
That's beautiful, is what that is. All right, so that was enjoyable for all the best of reasons.
Well, not surprisingly, veterans are into the final.
Yes, they've moved on to the next round.
So, Pro Aim versus Greenleaf.
Two of the favorite teams from the last season.
Yeah, Greenleaf lost 2 of their matches in the group stages. Pro Aim lost 1.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, chatting with 42, he was mentioning he finds they have really interesting strategies and very well prepared for each map. So Greenleaf, that is. So it should be interesting.
Yes. I was gonna say, because there's not a whole lot of what I'm gonna describe as fanciful, off meta, or unusual play from either of these teams, which is not a surprise. We don't see a whole lot of crazy stuff out of the Forts Pro League teams in general, but these teams specifically are not known for displaying quirky behaviors in their matches. I say that knowing full well that any and all of them are happy to go wild at any point in time. Let's say whenever they join in for our public matches. it's like try to get them to not build tier 3s. I dare you.
Yeah.
But for these matches, they do tend to be very stable.
Yeah. Yeah. A bit more professional, shall we say?
It's a good way to describe it. Consistent. All right, looks like the players are here, so they're getting their teams and strategies together, and then we'll be jumping into the next match. Excellent.
Onward.
And away we go. Into the next round. Well, here we have some of my favorite players. Actually, though, here on the left-hand side, we have it's MCC-72 and Helicopter playing as the Pinch Fist Commander. Pinch Fist Commander, the commander which sells off every part of its fort, turning into a dangling skeleton. That way it can bootstrap its eco earlier on. Are getting themselves set up for what is shaping up to be a unsurprising degree of rushing to heavy weapons. Facing off against their opponents, it's Team Greenleaf, Dranistian, and Vicro. They're playing as the Spook Commander. Spook Commander, it's like the ultimate PvP commander. I don't know if that's a good way to describe it, but Spook Commander specializes in information warfare, specifically the espionage element of it. Spook Commander does two things. One is it gets free information about the opponents, namely it knows from the start of the game what the opponent's commander is, so they don't have to guess or extrapolate that information. Additionally, they get a heads up when the opponent builds things, like important things, like, oh, they've placed swarm missiles, so we'll get a heads up pop-up about that. Things like all their tech choices and such. So while the opponents, while Team Greenleaf doesn't need a pop-up to determine, oh, they're building swarm missiles again, it is a nice-to-have kind of thing. But more importantly, Spook Commander just straight steals resources, which is kind of a big deal.
Especially when you're about to try and launch a nuke or something.
Yep, and then suddenly, oh, where did my energy go? I guess it's gone. I have to wait another 20 seconds to get the energy back. That's what Spook does best, and we'll see quite a lot of that these days. And the first swarm missile launch being sent out. So 2 swarms is enough to break a piece of metal. Fortunately, for Vicro, it looks like he's got his wooden defenses up just in time. This will prompt a bit of anti-air defenses out of Team Greenleaf here. It still looks like Team Greenleaf is going to be sticking with the heavy weapons rush. We're seeing lasers out of Dranistian in the lower base. We're going to see cannons out of Vicro in the upper base. Team Pro-Aim definitely sticking with the whole pinch fist rush thing. Very little in the way of defenses. I'm sure they're aware that Team Greenleaf doesn't really have offensive capabilities for the next 60 to 90 seconds. Therefore, they don't have to focus on defenses just yet. They are instead focusing on ramping up their firepower. However, a little bit of punishment for their hubris.
Yep.
MCC loses their plasma beam and takes 18% damage on their core for it. Another buzzsaw attempt, but this time Pro-Aim is prepared for it. What I'm interested in seeing is the double nuke coming out of Helicopter.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not going to win the sniper duel. Oh, he's going to have to rebuild the sniper. It's going to delay him so much.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's going to delay the double nuke out of Team Pro Aim. However, they are prepared to launch it once the sniper's completed, which should be completing here momentarily. Looks like they're going to take a moment to remove some of the anti-air.
Mm-hmm. They're prepared.
And with the fire beam to cover,
Ooh.
double nuke slams straight into Dranistian. Now, Dranistian was prepared to take that kind of hit. They had some very large spaced wooden armor. Not relying on machine gunners to take the nukes out of the sky, instead being capable of just face tanking the nukes. Very, very good decision on their part. We'll keep them in this game. As we once again have double nuke launching. I think Dranistian's got a... Uh-oh. I was about to say...
Oh. Yeah. Oh, he was lucky there.
Very, very lucky. Medium lucky. Theo's gonna say, like, if Dranistian doesn't use the plasma to knock both of those dukes out of the air, the chances that he loses that plasma are quite high.
That was a nice cannon shot, taking out MCC's fire beam.
Indeed. Wow, Greenleaf is really looking to hammer Helicopter's eco. How are you going to react to this one? Building more wood, that's what he's doing. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, shot.
Ooh.
That was good.
Dropping that cannon down from on top, slapping MCC in the core just a little bit. Interesting. Are we going to see... We saw the commander active for Team Pro Aim, but not actually used. I think they had a communication error there.
Oh.
Trying to be cheeky with that plasma. Okay.
I like the, as soon as the laser finished firing, he threw a turbine right in front of it.
Yes.
While the door was still open.
Just to stop the potential counter snipe. You don't see that all the time, but sometimes it can save the laser. It's the little things that count, you know?
It's just such a conceptually funny way to defend yourself. It's like, I'm under fire, quick, put a turbine in front of you.
It works, I mean.
It's really weird, right?
It does. It really does.
Oh, shot.
It's just a little off the top, going for a haircut.
Yeah. Oh, this could be dangerous. No, I'm all good.
The turbine strikes again. It's an expensive way to stop a nuke, but I mean, it stops the nuke. It's not even that expensive. It's cheaper than a single piece of metal. That man sitting there with multiple snipers trying to counter snipe that plasma every time it opens the door. Uh-oh.
Not so lucky this time.
Not so lucky this time. Dranistian loses all of their laser weaponry. Oh boy. Team Pro Aim actually fielding a plasma, or at least just placing it down. See how long it takes that to actually to produce. So Vicro for Team Greenleaf is the only one that has cannons, or even weapons, really. And they've been sending those cannon rounds in a rather unfocused pattern.
He was having better luck at targeting MCC's core, I think.
He was, but of course that's not something he really knows. Core damage is a bit ambiguous to the opponents. Purposefully so, but nonetheless. As long as Vicro manages to keep up the firepower onto a single base, he should be able to eventually break through. Is managing to get some good damage done against helicopter. The problem is, and by doing so, he leaves MCC uncontested, which is not exactly great for your lifespan, you know? Shout out to the constant sniper duels. Well, swapping targets back to MCC, which will give helicopter the time he needs to full defend things. Like, I don't... I'm guessing he's just trying to go for door snipes or keep the opponents mostly in check while Jernician gets his weapons back. Because he's not going for anything resembling lethal here. The sniping. Multiple snipers for half the players here. Just constantly keeping their opponents in check. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
It was exposed nuke, or I mean exposed core.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. So lots of things happened there. MCC almost died. Vicro almost took him out. Jernician got pummeled by both players on Team Pro Aim. Jernician barely survived off the back of some very rapid rebuilding. MCC got penned again, leaving him with very little left in the way of defense. Vicro out for blood now.
Oh
boy.
Oh, Jesus.
The snipers at a Team Pro Aim are overwhelming. That's a good way to describe it. Vicro re-aiming. With the door snipe. That's the shot he was looking for. Now, of course, MCC still has the plasma, which is the bigger threat, but without the fire beams, that's gonna relieve a substantial amount of pressure off of Team Greenleaf here. Well, one machine gunner's got way too much cut out for it. Okay.
Wow, this is a proper slugfest for sure.
That's a good way to describe it. If Vicro manages to field the third cannon at any point in time, Team Pro Aim just crumbles. But those double nukes are just terrifying.
There's just sort of this inevitable result.
There it is.
Wow.
Buzzsaw with laser follow-up cuts clean through. Of course, Vicro, the last remaining player on Team Greenleaf, is able to merely reclaim their teammates' burning remnants of their base. But without a teammate and their weapons, it's not looking good for Vicro anymore. Oof. Vicro will likely have to develop a heavy turbine array on Jernician's old base, just because it's about the only place he can build turbines without them getting bullied. And perhaps more importantly, losing Jernician means losing the APM and the ability to keep up with Pro Aim snipers, and that's gonna leave Team Greenleaf at a deficit in the sniper war. They were already not winning the sniper war, but now it's looking like they're going to get completely shut down.
Wow. That was a good shot by Vicro.
Very good shot. Taking out that plasma. That's going to give him an opportunity to meaningfully defend himself. Because without the plasma to break things open, Team Pro Aim is going to have trouble opening up their opponents after the nuke softens them. You know, unless the double nuke just comes in for the win. But I find that unlikely given Team Greenleaf's experience here. God, it's so much damage.
It is.
Like, there's so much going on, it's overwhelming. I mean, that's 3 snipers constantly firing. And then, I like MCC's, I'm sorry, I like Pro Aim's choice of going mortars here. Because mortars are great for DPS, and they require notable amounts of APM in order to mitigate. And that's something that Vicro just doesn't have access to anymore. There's just so many different threats coming at Greenleaf right now that realistically he's not keeping up.
Yeah, pretty tough.
It's like he has the tools available to him to deal with these. It's just how do you deal with them all simultaneously? The answer is you usually don't. I mean, he took the nukes out.
He did.
And he's defended the mortars as well. Two cannons take out 2 snipers. Not a great trade. At least not for Team Greenleaf. The nuke makes it this time. That's a lot of damage. That's the kind of hit that Vicro really cannot afford anymore.
Shot.
Oh!
Took out the laser.
There's no way he was trying for that, but he got it. With the fire beam down, that's going to give Greenleaf just a little bit more space here.
Yep.
1 fewer threat to handle. The double nuke, though, like, he's not keeping up with it. He's slowly being pushed. He's slowly being chipped away from below. And Vicro cannot sustain those kind of hits.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get lucky with those cannon shots.
Well, he's already off to a good start with that, having taken out the fire beam once. As the nukes come flying once again. Just the damage from those mortars. Okay, that's the kind of repair bill that you'd never pay. Vicro just lost heaps of metal, and with it, most of the ablative armor around his fort. Like, that's... He's going to rebuild something there, but it will not be made out of metal now. I say as he just immediately buys a bunch of metal. But it still isn't the same quality that it was before. This is a loss of momentum of game state from the previous launch of the nukes. That's how things go poorly. That's the death spiral. That's what a death spiral looks like.
Yep.
Which means it's, unless Vicro does something, like, say, get a beautiful door snipe, or I don't even know what. Like, what do you... They're not using door snipeable weapons. It's mortars, nukes, and a fire beam. Like, a door snipe a sniper? Like, that is not going to help anything. You just gotta fire and hope.
Yeah.
Hope we get a lucky hit somewhere. Because, I mean, look at that damage. His base is shambles.
Yeah. Shot
goes.
by the mortar.
Well, there you have it. Team Pro Aim takes round 1.
Yep.
Well done, well done.
Yeah, that was impressive defending on Vicro's part.
Oh yeah, he lasted quite a while.
Yeah.
I'm always happy to see those kinds of games. Like, he wasn't even... I wouldn't say he was even out of it until toward the last few minutes there. Once Team Pro Aim managed to full defend themselves against 2 cannons. Additionally, the use of the mortars rather than heavier weapons meant that there was less chance to get door sniped, and therefore really nothing that Vicro could have done toward the end.
I agree. What is happening here?
I'm just getting set up with the next match. I gotta swap sides. They gotta set the new map.
Very good.
Basic cat herding things.
Yeah, it's not too bad this time. Not too many teams, so it shouldn't take too long.
Yeah. Yeah, and the players are already here. It shouldn't be... I'm not too concerned about it. Just takes a moment to press all the buttons.
But we've both experienced some serious cat herding in the past, haven't we? Incursus?
Yes.
Like proper meow.
Oh, good God. This is why I like the AI tournaments.
Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of which, this tournament's ready to go as we're jumping right into the next match. And we're off, ladies and gentlemen, to round 2 in this best of 3. Here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Green Leaf, having their sides swapped from the previous round. Vicro in the top position, hanging from the ceiling, with Dronistine in the lower position, playing as the Spook Commander. They are permitted to use the same commander as last round because they did not win last round. Therefore, they did not use their commander slot. However, their opponents, Team Pro Aim, did win last round, and therefore they are now using a different commander. Onto the Warthog commander. MCC-72K sitting in the top base, with a helicopter in the lower base. The Warthog commander is, well, it empowers heavy weapons. We could expect to see some heavy weapons coming out of Team 2. The builds for Dronistine and Vicro are almost identical, as are the builds for MCC-72 and for Helicopter. Have a bit of a discrepancy in the... Okay, things just went... What are you doing? So, Team Greenleaf has gone Upgrade Center Armory. Armory is not a surprise. Upgrade Center is a surprise. Those who know, there are exactly 2 things you can do with an Upgrade Center. Upgrade your economy and almost exclusively lose the game. Or you can get rockets.
That's what I was thinking.
And it's going to be rocket spam out of Team Greenleaf. Typically, if you're going to go rocket spam... We most commonly see the Phantom Commander, because the Phantom Commander actually lets you hide the rockets. So Pro Aim is preparing to take hits from rockets, whereas Team Greenleaf is going rockets against an opponent that is going straight heavy weapons. I am curious to see how this is going to play out. I've just got hit with some nasty frame rate issues. Yes, I am sitting here at 12,000, 14,000 ping. Why? Well, I haven't been disconnected from the game yet, so that's cool. But the rockets are launched. Most of them make it would seem.
Interesting. That's a lot of damage. That's... Can they execute this?
I am...
You don't see repair stations in matches often.
Well, we also don't see smoke in matches often.
Yeah. So
repair stations typically come out immediately upon the existence of smoke. But now that we see smoke, we do see the repair as well.
Welcome back to the action.
Give me a second. I may have actually needed to do a few other things depending on how. Okay, I think we're good on my end. Oh wow, this is still going on?
Oh, it is.
Oh my god. I'm gonna need to see the replay after this. I'm gonna want the Mans has... What is that? 4 rocket launchers, 2 shotguns, 2 buzzsaws on a single base. And Pro-Aim is still standing and they're getting... heavy weapons out. Okay. Unexpected, but I'm very okay with this. Okay. Alright, so it looks like, surprisingly, not a whole lot has changed.
No, that's why I haven't really said much, because we've just been kind of doing the same thing over and over here.
Okay. Huh. Unexpected, but I'm okay with this. So typically when we see these kinds of early game weapon rushes, what we get is this kind of stalling effect up until the heavy weapons come out and then uninstall the game with rampant firepower. That seems to be what's happening here, with the exception of the heavy weapons haven't yet dominated the field. But they're working on it. They are certainly working on it. Okay. So here we are. Rockets flying. Interesting, something to note, that Team Greenleaf has been losing weapons every time, almost every time Team Pro-Aim fires their laser. The problem for Team Pro-Aim is that they have exactly 1 laser, and there's a lot more than 1 heavy weapon on Team Greenleaf's side. Okay.
Oh.
That's a pretty heavy hit. Pen, Dranistian takes 8% of damage. I am incredibly surprised to see that neither Helicopter or MCC have taken any core damage whatsoever, given the context of things.
Yep.
But here we are. Okay. God, every time the laser beam fires, it does real tangible damage. And Greenleaf has not managed to make incredible progress against either of the players on Team Pro-Aim. Mind you, the top player, MCC, for Team Pro-Aim on the right side, has been completely locked out of any kind of aggression. Like, not only has they lost every weapon, but they've lost every technology and taken hefty eco damage. So MCC is a solid 4 minutes away from being anything resembling a threat to Team Greenleaf. It's only helicopter in lower base with their single plasma that is capable of dealing damage. And unfortunately for Greenleaf, they are dealing damage. Like, MCC just ate something like 6 rockets. Like, you can't take that kind of damage.
He can, apparently.
Not consistently.
And has been. It is bizarre.
Oh, good lord. I think the only reason he's able to sustain those kind of hits is because they keep swapping back and forth between MCC and helicopter. And it's giving MCC an opportunity to recover any amount of time, any amount of eco. Although he is doing a great job of, you know, not dying. Oof.
And the repair station is still there, you know. It's
I mean, it's trying. It's doing its best.
It's doing its thing.
You know, all you can ever ask for someone is that they do their best. And you know what? That's a very, very hard-working repair bay.
Yeah. I think the damage stats are going to be crazy at the end of this.
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's gonna be a lot. Okay, so we do actually see successful heavy weapon launch out of Vicro, the plasma cutting deep into helicopter. As you can see here, they've been consistently launching the rockets at MCC for about a minute now, and Vicro and MCC is suddenly, you know, no longer fully intact as they once were. But man, the machine guns.
Yeah, they're so effective sometimes.
Especially against rockets. They're swapping targets again!
Yeah, they should just focus.
It's fine. Oh, but there's no
so
repair
easy
bay on helicopter's base. That's gonna be painful.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They're swapping
You see,
targets
they should
again.
have just... Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is fine. Look at them dig through MCC. Eventually, Vicro's gonna have the energy to launch that plasma at MCC, and it's gonna be a real bad day for him in particular. Uh-oh. Shotgun just took out the fire beam. Helicopter loses a fire beam. Once again, those earlier game weapons. Ooh.
Oh.
Did that take out both? It did. Well, Vicro loses a plasma. That happened. The way Greenleaf is playing Seems like they're playing for time rather than playing to destroy. I wonder if that's on purpose or if they're just that concerned about helicopter growing as a threat. Okay. So that last volley, that put helicopter in a pretty rough position.
Oh.
Okay. Machine gunners are coming in and taking out so many of those rockets. Oh, a heavy hit. Vicro following up past the rockets. Helicopter concedes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's going to leave MCC standing alone. In all fairness, I think that was not a terrible decision.
I guess so. I think I would have preferred to see it actually happen organically. It's something we like to discourage.
Oh yeah, but still, that was without the plasma beam for helicopters. The only thing keeping them in the game was they lost that.
Yeah, I understand.
God, the damage discrepancy.
Yep.
Ooh. So that's a lot of damage.
Yep. That was a lot of explosions.
Yes. Good God. Well, that was... I don't want to call it one-sided because it wasn't one-sided, but it was certainly way more active for one side than the other.
Yeah. They won that out of just pure effort and grunt.
It got scrappy and they didn't stop stabbing is what happened there.
Yeah. And it went long enough for you to disconnect and come back and still see the end.
Yeah, I was surprised about that. I was fully expecting it to be in another match. And then the internet came back online and showed, oh, you've disconnected from this lobby and it's still active. I'm like, wait, what?
Yep.
I was very surprised. But I'm okay with this. All right. It looks like we're about ready to go. God, this... Why?
Why?
Why are you like this?
The players are arguing over which
aesthetic they want to play. We have a 50-50 split as to which aesthetic theme is going to be used for the decider match of this best of 3. And...
Yep. 42 rolled the dice on everyone's behalf and has made the choice.
Okay. We're ready to go. Let's do this.
Okay, yeah. I heard There was a bit of meowing going on there.
The cats! They've returned.
Angry
All right.
kitties.
Here we have on the left-hand side, it's Team Greenleaf playing as the Shockanaw Commander. Oh my.
Interesting.
I want to see how this one plays out. Helicopter, of course. Coming in with the machine guns. Just dusting the opponents because they can. Team Pro Aim here on the right-hand side, playing as the Warthog Commander. So both of these commanders rush toward Tier 2 tech, although with the Warthog Commander, they will typically be going straight for your standard style heavy weapons. With the Shockanaw Commander, you are highly encouraged to use the hybrid weapons instead, namely the 20mm and the Firebeam. In this matchup, I do actually prefer the Shockanaw strategy, because the Shockanaw strategy enables you to do the counter heavy weapon rush timing attack, and then also still have heavy weapons on the field. Which is just kind of really good. Because the timing attack hits, if done right, it can snipe out 2-ish of the opponent's heavy weapons, just giving you a huge lead in the as you get into cannon o'clock. And then once you get your commander active, you just have a full set of heavy weapons out and you smash a target. Very good strategy.
Incursus, have you been enjoying any of the new forts features that we've added?
Yes.
Lately.
Yes, I have.
Did you have you noticed the Vulcan graphics driver that we've added?
I saw it. I haven't touched it.
Well,
I'm
looking at my frame rate. I've turned off VSync and I'm getting like 1200 frames per second.
Jesus Christ.
It's incredibly efficient.
Yeah, Vulcan has always been a good time for me. You see, I'm rocking out at about 300 FPS right now, so it's not something that I particularly need to play with, but I should, for the sake of my curiosity, I should go test it out some. I was aware that it was added. I think a lot of the more obvious additions, aside from things like the quick start at the beginning, which was, I can only imagine, of great value during the free weekend.
The quick battle, yes, that was our thing. Quick battle we added, because that actually is a throwback to when we were demoing forts before we launched it at trade shows, and that's the kind of thing that seemed to really help get people into the game, was just like throw you into a battle, have some guns, blow some stuff up, and that's a really fun part of forts, and just instant gratification. Granted, it doesn't obviously show you the nitty-gritty like what we're watching here, but it's just a nice introduction into the game if you've never played it before, because when you watch trailers and stuff, you don't really see the slow strategic part. It's the action, and so that mode kind of lets people jump into the action, which is kind of cool.
Yes. Yeah. That was a very big thing that I thought was a very well done. That was a good idea, especially with the free weekend involved, because it just got people into it so much.
It did. And that was amazing, having the free weekend, the sheer number of players that were playing consistently or concurrently. Yeah, that was pretty fun to watch.
I haven't checked the game player base population after the free weekend, but I have noticed that there's a lot more lobbies open than beforehand.
Yep. That's a good indication, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, okay. So we're rocking out at right now about 1,600 players online, 1,700 players online right now, which is big,
Yeah,
more than usual.
more than usual for sure. The other feature you might like, and others might like, is that the camera positions that you can store using the control key and the number pad, they get stored now. So when you come back to a map, if you define some, they are already there. You don't need to keep redefining them.
Really, I did not notice that. Honestly, I'm so accustomed to just resetting them every single time. I didn't even notice that.
Yep.
Okay.
I thought you would like that one.
Yes, actually, I really do. That's the game changer. I may have to spend like an hour going through every map.
Yeah, or just a few more tournaments and you'll have them all done.
Like actually though, that's I like that a lot. Okay, thank you for letting me know. That's a big game changer. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like this match in particular has more than kicked off. I am kind of surprised to see that Team Pro Aim took so little damage from the opening volleys of Team Greenleaf. I say as if the helicopter didn't just lose 3 mines. The opening volleys with the active just kind of overpenned the bases and didn't break much. I was expecting something closer to nearly a core kill.
Oh. Oh.
Death by 20 mil. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, Dranistian falls.
That was powerful.
Very. Interesting, and oh no, Dranistian got the barrel, but didn't.
Oh.
He doesn't have any storages, so he can't actually interact with anything. Oh no, he has to be rescued by his teammate in order to come back into the game as a player. He literally cannot do anything. Is it worth trying to save him? I mean, I guess it's worth trying to save him. You'd have to build a battery and a metal storage. And then gift it to Dranistian.
Oh.
Can you even? Because he cannot construct anything at all.
Oh, what a shot.
Which means
Took
he
out
can't connect.
You take out there one of the 20s.
I'm thinking about it. No, there's no way to actually rescue Dranistian here. Like, Dranistian technically owns the lower base, but it can't do anything with it. And there's no way to rescue him, because you can't grant someone control of a part of the fort without them spending literally any amount of money to connect to it. And, well, Dranistian physically can't spend any money at all, so that's just the end of that.
Oh, wow, nice shot.
If Dranistian sells off his... Okay. Very nice shot. Yeah. Well, that's going to be a moot point now, as Vicro is not in a position to rescue Dranistian. God. Shutting down the turbines just all the time is just so frustrating to have to deal with. I still want to see him try to rescue, but there's no way Pro Aim lets them. There it is. Team Greenleaf falls. Very decisive. One-sided. I expected a lot more damage out of Vicro and Dranistian that turn, but it just didn't pan out. Team Pro Aim takes it, winning 2-1 in this best of 3. Well done, well done.
That was impressive. That howitzer wasn't messing around.
It does so much damage. You can never count out the howitzer. It just does incredible amounts of damage, and it hits so very, very hard.
And then with the follow-up of the 20, which, you know, is typically a little bit chaotic with its aim, but still effective in this case.
It's a good way to put it. Yes. The 20 mil is less popular for that, specifically because it doesn't concentrate its damage. It's like it splashes damage around, so it doesn't actually hit the target that you want to remove. And typically, you get a howitzer splash the damage everywhere, weaken everything, and then penetrate the weak spot with something, you know, hard hitting.
Yep.
A 20 mil just doesn't fill that role, but it does a lot of damage.
And it's popular nonetheless. You know, it's just people seem to like it. There's something satisfying about it.
I think that comes from kinetics, each of which cause an explosion, and the satisfying thump sound every time.
Yes. Yep. So, looks like there's a bit of a veto going on at the moment for the bronze match.
Yes. The one it's one of the 2 vetoes we can't do beforehand.
Yeah. I'm not sure if there's a link to it or not.
Yes, I do. I haven't been showing them, mostly because, well, half because we've been very good at getting them done quickly, and half because it's just kind of a pain to do that.
Yeah, it's a little bit like watching paint dry, a little bit, but there's the strategy of it, I guess.
There is. It is definitely worth doing because, well, it makes the match so much more exciting. As we have the bands coming through right now, and doing map bands right now. Excellent.
Yeah, so after this finals, we're going to be taking a little break from the Amateur League and the Pro League for a few months while we recharge and reset. We're going to probably tweak the structure of the league, mostly to try and make it more convenient for everyone involved.
All right.
And what those changes are not decided on yet. So 42 and Romero and myself, and then the other admins will be discussing how this will all go forward. But it will definitely be back for season 3, and it just might be a slightly different configuration.
All right. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. And yeah, because it is quite a time commitment, you know, to do this, you know, and to do these matches. So yeah, we just want to make sure that, you know, everybody, that it doesn't become a slog for everybody, basically. So, yeah.
I think a slog is a good way to describe it. Is a lot of players are having a hard time, I'm going to say, scheduling matches.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it shouldn't be, I mean, it should be fun, right? Like, that's the key point behind everything game related, right? So, yeah. And I think we got some good ideas about how to do this to just make it more interesting for everybody involved. So,
okay. I am curious. Yeah. I am very curious.
Yep. Yeah. So, but I can't go into details yet because we haven't actually locked it down yet. So,
of course.
But yeah, like basically, it's just gonna it'll get better.
Forts Pro League Seasons version 2, the upgrade, the better and improved version.
Exactly.
All right, so it looks like we're wrapping up the commander vetoes here, which means we'll be jumping into the match here soon. As we once more get ready, we'll be doing the bronze match next. Followed by the finals. The bronze match is a best of 3. As we get the players into the lobby. Alright, so I'm looking forward to doing some more Fort gaming tonight, as oftentimes after these tournaments, I like to get together with some more direct interaction with the community. As it is unfortunate that I can't do a whole lot of interaction with the community here while casting. So we get to show good games for the fans, then afterward, get to open it up for everyone to come and join.
What flavor of lobby are you intending on having?
That's a darn good question. I do mix it up every so often. These days I've been feeling less modded. Although the shader, what is you've seen the reshader, yeah? The FX Explosions FX.
Oh, the explosion, yeah. No,
what's your take on that? Okay, yeah. That one's
that's
just
spectacular.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I'm using this from now on.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It was Samster, I think, that made that, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Made a video showing it off.
It's just, it feels so good when somebody else can, like, make your game better. I can't begin to tell you what it feels like as a developer, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, that is so cool. Like, thank you. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yes. It's, I like it. It just makes everything look so much more dramatic. It's a good way to describe it.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
And it's the sound effects are all so good.
Yeah. It's, yeah. What I like is that it's like just clever use of existing tech, you know? So it's just shows you the Fort's engine just hasn't been fully utilized yet. Still has new things to offer, you know?
Oh, yes. Speaking of which, things to offer. Looks like we're about to start this next match. The players are ready. The match is made. Let's do this. And we're off. Alright, here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Westwind playing as the Pinchfist commander, looking to go fast and to sell off their base on the way. Usually expect to see some heavy weapons out of them. On the other side, we have... it's Team Greenleaf, playing as the Eagle Eye commander. Eagle Eye commander these days is, more known for its heavy weapons, because the Eagle Eye commander gives a boost to some degree. Boost is... I don't think boost is a good way to describe it. It allows you to double shot your heavy weapons, which is something that can catch your opponents by surprise.
Yep.
Most of the time, players will build their defenses such that they can take exactly one cannon hit or one laser hit. At least at the beginning of the game, when your opponent only has one cannon or one laser. Just to optimize their build order a bit. And that can throw their opponents off when they suddenly get hit by a double shot cannon. Oh no. What are you doing? Is Trinistine following along as well? Yes. Oh no.
Oh, what? You think they're going to do it again?
Yes, I think they're going to do it again.
Oh, jeez.
But with Eagle Eye? Why Eagle Eye? Oh no.
Interesting.
Whoa. This makes me wonder if they've chosen Eagle Eye just to mess with their opponents. Say, hey, we're gonna reveal that we're Eagle Eye. And then we're gonna go rockets. Just to mess with you. Well, that's unfortunate. Greenleaf loses a rocket launcher. Pretty certain Team Westwind sees this coming now.
Yeah, and that kind of takes the sting out of the rush.
Yes. Then again, it is... what? It's shotguns. It's not rockets.
Interesting.
It's shotgun spam. Shotgun spam doesn't break most things. I mean, it can. Somewhat. I just... now I want to know.
We're about to find out, I think.
I think so too. Well, the AP snipers... the AP
Yeah,
snipers
that's
here to
right.
ruin some days.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think Team Westwind just doesn't know what to expect here. And you know what? I don't blame
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him at all. Like, it's coming up. We're just a few seconds away from cannon o'clock, and Team Greenleaf hasn't fired a shot.
Yeah. And they've lost a whole whack of... Right.
Okay.
Helps if you... Okay. Interesting.
Commander active with the Eagle Eye for the explosive rounds.
Yeah. Explosive rounds.
This is
and extra
closer.
shots.
Yeah, this is closer to last rework or pre-rework Eagle Eye. But like this, you see the angled metal deflecting those shotgun rounds. comes the first cannon shot. Well,
okay, fair
that
enough.
is what shotguns are good for. They
Yeah.
retaliate against such things quite well. Trinistian losing a shotgun to the fire and the flames. Commander ability is available. Will they be activating? Here's the question. I'd say probably yes. Yeah, there we go. Okay, if you focus your fire, you should be able to dig through. Because that's... The explosive shotgun rounds actually deal quite a lot of damage. Okay. So at this point, Team Greenleaf really needs something to actually break the enemy's bases. They need something to open up the opponents. The shotguns just aren't cutting it. Even with the explosive rounds, it isn't enough to... Good God. The AP sniper's still causing problems. Commander ability is available for Team Greenleaf. They get just a little bit more.
And there they go.
Yep. Heavy weapons hit very hard.
Yep.
Dranistian loses a majority of their shotguns, and unfortunately leaves their core in a somewhat vulnerable position. Takes a bit of splash damage here, knocking it down to 58%. Not in immediate danger just yet, but it's getting close. Losing both shotguns, Dranistian now down to 0 weapons and dropping. Commander active once again, Vicro taking advantage of the commander energy. Hitting Malma pretty hard, but nothing that can't simply be repaired at costs. Trinistian taking this time to focus on defense. Very understandable.
Oh.
Westwind deciding Vicro needs to not be in the game anymore. I think Vicro understands the message and has decided to change tactics a little bit, selling off all of his weapons in exchange for defenses, and I assume another mine while he still can. There we go. 2 more mines. There it is. So that'll put Team Greenleaf with 0 weapons and no heavy weapons tech on the ready to go. So it's going to be another 3-ish minutes before Team Greenleaf can do anything. Westwind can do whatever they want for the next 3 minutes without having to even really consider threats from Team Greenleaf. And looks like what they want to do is build an additional cannon. We also see another laser platform out of Malme in the lower fort. So this is where Team Westwind wants to be. Ahead on weapons, ahead on tech, ahead on economy, and adding additional things. There is the next plasma being placed for Westwind's lower base. Not yet a fourth cannon out of their upper base. This is the cannons they hit so very hard.
I think Traniston got lucky there.
Probably. Did he get it? Hey, he got the door snipe. Vicro actually managing to take out the fire beam with his sniper. Fairly common predicament. And
nice.
The plasma follow-up. I mean, he did in fact follow up with the plasma, but the snipers take vengeance. Malmet lost their fire beam and their plasma to snipers now. Didn't see that one coming.
One more?
Oh. Almost gets it. Team Westwind is aware that Greenleaf is constructing a howitzer up there, and they're not super keen on it existing. The problem is that, well, Team Greenleaf, it's that howitzer is their only hope. So they're doing everything they can to defend it. Westwind is getting a whole bunch of machine gunners just everywhere. Just to make sure that if that howitzer completes, they can take it out of the sky. Very understandable. Ooh. Laser beam, no. Okay. Seeing some machine gunners out of Greenleaf, I assume they suspect that Westwind is building a howitzer. They suspect correctly. Worth noting that despite about a minute and a half passing, there's still no alive machine gunners for Team Westwind. Greenleaf sniping has been that much on point. And cannon follow-up. You know what? That's probably best case scenario for Greenleaf. Howitzer colliding with the cannon projectile mid-air, preventing that cannon from taking out the howitzer itself.
Oh. That's bad.
That's very bad. Buzzsaws do it again.
Yeah.
Drinistian falls.
Also... Oh, wow.
Yeah. The Westwind finally got their weapons online, and this is what that looks like. It looks like destruction.
Yep.
With that, Westwind wins Team 1. Wins round 1 in this best of 3. Very, very well done.
But yeah, was it Greenleaf had us like, what the hell are they doing?
I think they just wanted to try the funny eagle eye strategy.
Yeah. And
I was
we
just
all
very
learned
confused.
the lesson. Yeah.
It's the reason why eagle eye was changed. Unironically, though, that strategy used to be... It was a long time ago. That strategy used to be overwhelmingly powerful. It had to get nerfed. I don't know how many times before it just reworked entirely.
Well, look, Forts is, what, 6.5 years old, and we're still balancing the commanders, you know? I imagine that's just gonna always be a thing.
Probably. For so long as Forts is still around.
And I don't think that's actually a bad thing. If it's evolving and keeps the strategy kind of fresh, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you have a couple of major strategies across the gaming industry. We're gonna try to make this as perfect as possible and just let it sit. Alternatively, we're gonna. It being unbalanced is a feature because we're just going to swap the balance around every couple months, and that way everyone has a new overpowered thing to play with every couple months.
I mean, we're always trying to make it so nothing is overpowered, but it's just,
Yeah, but overpowered is fun,
Yeah.
This month is the month of the orbital laser. Next month, orbital laser is terrible, but it's the month of the cannon. There's a bit of fun in that kind of balancing style, but it's very live servicey.
Yep.
That's a dirty word these days. Alright, looks like we're ready to go. Off to the next round. Round 2 in this best of 3. Team Greenleaf here on the left-hand side, facing off against their opponents. It is Team Westwind. God, it feels good not having to set the... Just press all the buttons. I don't have to set them already. It's beautiful.
Insert mind blown emoji here.
Makes me so very happy. Alright, looks like we've got some unusual commander choices here. It's not that unusual. Here we have on the left-hand side, Team Greenleaf playing as the Shotgun commander. Expect to see the hybrid weapons, your 20 mils or your fire beam spam out of them. Facing off against their opponents. Westwind running Seep. Seep was the commander choice they chose last time on this map, because nuclear fire is fun. Expect to see nukes coming out of them. I am curious to see how Shotgun is going to stand up here. Shotgun does get their weapons out faster than most other commanders, owing to them not building the full heavy weapons. So that does mean that they are going to be able to reply with reasonable firepower far faster than most other commanders would. Which is very relevant when you're running things like nukes, which kind of intend to deal their damage before heavy weapons come out. So otherwise, nukes tend to get outclassed via being, well, nukes just being inconsistent. However, it's worth noting that because nukes aren't the standard heavy weapon path, they aren't vulnerable to the same timing attack that something like, say, a cannon or a plasma beam would be vulnerable to. And therefore, a lot of that strength from the timing attack just isn't present for Greenleaf. So yeah, sure, Greenleaf can reply with more power than a standard heavy weapon would, at least at a time far earlier than standard heavy weapons. But they also just don't hit as hard. And they lack the surprise attack against the weak point. That is a constructing heavy weapon. The sniper. So, the barrel exists here. Makes me wonder if Vicro's gonna do the same thing as last time, where you lose the core and can't do anything about it because no storage. Looks like we have the first swarm missiles ready to go. They'll be launched in about now-ish to reveal, followed up immediately by the upgrade. If Greenleaf wasn't aware it was swarm missiles
Wow.
before, they are aware now.
Lost 2 mines there.
Yeah, that's a pretty hefty hit.
Geiger's lower mine placement there is hilarious. Sort of jutting out the side.
He's mining the air, okay? Air is a valuable resource these days. I mean, where else do you get nice, clean air from? Oh, he's trying. Drunistian snipers. Yep, there it is. Okay. Buzzsaws being buzzsaws. What are we looking for here? Geiger going with the fire beam approach to assisting the nukes, whereas Team Greenleaf is going split between fire beams and 20 mils. Oh, scary. Interesting choice for Drunistian to not utilize the lower platform as a anti-missile wall. Like, I would just hardwall that off real quick. You want to nuke me? You gotta dig through 6 blocks of spaced wood. Do it. Whereas Vicro, on the other hand, is about ready to dump several plasma beams worth of... Oh, the fire beam plasma beam combo doesn't quite make it.
Didn't quite line it up.
That would likely have been lethal if he focused those beams perfectly. Shout out to Vicro, who's going to need just like 4 times the amount of energy production that he currently has. Oh boy. Westwind activated their commander ability for that, and it didn't make it across the field. It's good news for Greenleaf, not so good news for Westwind. Okay. Shots fired for both sides. Is he going for the... Could potentially go for another fire beam plasma beam combo here. Makes me wonder. Nope, that's not gonna happen. He's just igniting everything. Vicro's still lacking in energy. Okay. Is that a refire? Just took the sniper out again. Nothing else. Alright, commander ability's active. We're gonna see the players digging through their opponents.
Oh, I thought that would be it.
Nah, not with this ability tech there. He needed to get the laser in after the cannon. Westwind definitely not coming out on top of that exchange.
Oh, wow.
Wait. That
seemed
nuke
like
detonated, did its
and
splash
split.
damage, and split. I haven't seen that,
Yeah.
I think, yet. Like, I know it's theoretically possible, because the nuke still detonates and does its damage when it explodes. But
Yeah.
I've never seen it
Yeah, that's...
explode so close to a target that it launches... Okay.
Oh.
That's so
that
close.
was gonna be-
Greenleaf.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Okay. Alright, well... Don't see it every day, but good to see. Heavy hit.
Oh.
Oh, is that gone?
Oh, lucky.
Only loses one
Or
of the
unlucky.
fire beams in that.
Oh. What's that doing?
Collapsing is what it's doing. Geiger loses a plasma and a couple mines, leaves the rest of the mines exposed. Geiger taking a pretty heavy hit, but nothing that's going to knock him out of the game for a long period of time. Malme, on the other hand, is getting ground down. Oh, I think he got the snipe. He did.
Yep, he did.
Geiger loses another fire beam. Uh-oh. Westwind is getting picked apart here. Yeah, sure, that nuke is landing, and Dranistian is having to pay the cost, but it isn't breaking Dranistian. Whereas Westwind, every time those weapons fire, be it lasers or cannons, Team Westwind loses something important. Like, they haven't lost game-ending amounts of stuff yet, but it's getting there. Their defense is losing the girth they need to full defend things. Look at that, another fire beam falls. As the fire beams burn through Malm's innards getting cooked. Secondary explosion causes even more damage. For so long as Westwind still has that nuke, and they do for the moment, then they are still in this game, but it's getting worse and worse for them by the second. Malm's defense is getting penetrated, loses a mine, an upgraded mine at that, which is even more expensive. Didn't fire the nuke there. Fired it here, though. Again, that nuke does some substantial splash damage before splitting into swarm missiles and doing even more damage. But sounds a sound you do not want to hear right now out of Team Westwind. Oh, nuke lands. Great damage. Breaks a chunk of Greenleaf's defenses here, but won't break the base. It leaves Team Greenleaf open to a follow-up attack, but doesn't actually deal the damage it needs to make the difference in this game. If Westwind is able to relaunch that nuke rapidly, then Dranistian in the lower fort will be vulnerable to a hit here. Nuke flies near uncontested. Great damage. Digging through the connecting bracing for Dranistian once again. That's going to set him back even further. Westwind's just got to keep the nukes going. Like, the flak is under construction. All right. Yeah, that's about what we expected here. Didn't expect it to be quite so quick, but more or less the defensive position for Dranestian is undefended and will remain so for a time. A brief period of time, but a time nonetheless.
I'm finding Greenleaf's aim is a little bit all over the place.
Oh Lord, are they trying?
Oh yeah.
I am questioning their delay of the nuke for that long. Like, at some point, you just got a DPS, because it's the only weapon your team realistically has on the field, and failure to keep it always on cooldown means that you're just lacking the damage output to prevent your opponents from, you know, building up a battery of lasers and then digging to your core.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
I think he fixed his aim.
I think he did. He finally got that shot lined up, and it did the damage they were looking to deal. Now,
yeah,
Westwind still has access to those nukes, which means Geiger, the last remaining player on Westwind, can use them to deal great damage.
Fully exposed.
Did that nuke self-detonate there? I think it did. That's gonna put... Yeah, okay, so the nukes are going away.
Oh, yeah.
We now have a clean-shaven territory down there, which is really bad for Westwind here. Not to mention that Team Greenleaf has their weapons already online and now lined up, so... Weapons zeroed in and focused on the last remaining player. Looks like Team Greenleaf is going to come out on top. Yeah, Firebeam's not really going to get door snipes. Technically, Geiger still has a plasma,
but... wow. Nice.
Yeah,
there you go.
That went about as I expected that to end, as Team Greenleaf takes the victory. Every time.
I know. It still gets me.
Alright, so that'll tie up this series between these two teams. At 1-1, we're going into the decider match for the bronze. Decider round for the bronze match.
This is good. So, between Westwind and Greenleaf, who you thinking?
Ah, man.
Tricky.
I mentioned it before because these are some of my favorite players. They're so close to skill level, and we saw a bit of the memery happening in the round one. As I mentioned it.
Yeah, we did.
In the previous match, that none of these players here are afraid to do, you know, fun strats. We just don't often see it in the Forts Pro League. Like I see this all the time when we do our more community matches, like later tonight when I do the open lobbies. It'll be this kind of fun stuff the whole night. So it's so hard to gauge because they're so similar and they're both willing to do something crazy just because they can. So it's, man, that is a hard one here.
I mean, in our other tournaments, like that are, I guess, official tournaments, but, you know, not the league, typically the bronze match has been the let's have some fun and, you know, swing the core, T3, you know.
Just because they can. So, like, I would not put it past anyone here for doing exactly, just to throw the match because it's fun to do that. Like, that's it's so hard to tell. I think if I were to, I think I would put it on Greenleaf, And only because I have to pick a side, and that's it.
Fair enough.
Like I can't put a firm analysis that points one to the other. They're all good games. All right. Speaking of good games, we got some interesting commander choices here. We're seeing Moonshine out of Team Greenleaf. Not a commander you see every day. Less so in these 2v2s, but we have seen him a couple times throughout the Forts Pro League. We're getting the ellipses out of Geiger here because Greenleaf, being little gremlins, brought out the snipers just to harass turbines. Why? Because they can, for no other reason. Is it doing anything? No. Is it worth doing? I mean, emotional damage is always worth doing. Yeah. Geiger replies by counter. He wins both sniper duels.
Yeah,
he's like, stop it! I've had enough of your nonsense. Oh God. Yeah, that's
Oh, it's going the other way now.
Vengeance. They actually get a turbine.
They do. They insult to injury.
Okay. In either case, there's no major damage has been dealt here. Both teams are still on the dot with their timings. We've got heavy weapons tech plates for Geiger. We've got the heavy weapons tech about to go down for Jernistian. We've got Vicro just placing his. Melm is working on his eco first, which, fair enough. Worth noting that Team Westwind here on the right-hand side is playing as the Armadillo commander. It's much more defensive commander. It allows them to get cheaper metal. So we tend to see the Armadillo commander focus more on economy and late game, so they can take advantage of, well, massive defenses that are incredibly hard to break, and then just outscale their opponents with a bigger economy until they eventually win. Because Armadillo can defend and repair so much more effectively and efficiently than any other commander, it lends them to be a threat regardless of how much damage you put on them. Because it's very difficult to gauge whether or not the Armadillo commander is actually death spiraled or just holding the line while another cannon gets placed. My question for Team Greenleaf is, will it be 20 mils or are we seeing standard cannons out of them? There's an argument for 20 mils. I don't like the argument for 20 mils, but it is fun. A little early on those buzzsaws, or more accurately, a little late on Team Greenleaf's weapons. Yeah, no, it's howitzers. Okay. This is the argument that I like. I prefer this argument to the 20 mil solution. 20 mils, they're good, they're fun. Howitzers, they just break things. Standard cannons, they break things. It looks like we will see 20 mil on top of howitzer. So for Geiger and Malme here, Team Westwind, Looks like they're just going standard cannon spam, which is incredibly powerful. Whereas Team Greenleaf, it's howitzer, and is he not building? Guessing he's just not.
At a 20, right?
He's got a 20, but I'm looking at Vicro here, who hasn't built another 20, and I don't know if it's purposeful or just decided he doesn't. I guess it doesn't really matter. Double howitzer is going to be enough to break any player who's not prepared for it. We do see howitzer defenses at a Geiger as well as some anti-air, so at least one Westwind, or at least Geiger, is able to defend against one of those howitzers at least. Two, remains to be seen. Alright, so Vicro is getting a second 20, but it won't be ready for Canada. It won't be ready for the opening volley. Worth noting that while this is about to change, Canada clock passed a little bit ago, and both teams had just been deciding to not participate in violence for the past minute or so. But violence has started, and with great force. Okay. Team Westwind has gone up to 3 cannons active. So we're looking to see that kind of damage. Oh, we're gonna get a door snipe here. Oh, come on, Geiger. Oh. Yeah, you got it. Alright. Unfortunately, Geiger's unprepared for double howitzer.
Oh, I thought that was going to do way more damage.
Wow. Okay. Geiger?
Just got lucky.
Good thing there was an energy shield there, because the energy shield stops the kinetic transfer. Because if that howitzer had landed anywhere else, Geiger would be gone right now. Remember when I said Geiger can take 1 howitzer? Yeah, he can take 1 howitzer, not 2. Malm really needs to do something about the howitzer. There it is. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, that's so much damage.
Oh.
It costs so much money to repair. Malm desperately needs to be taking out Jernistein's howitzer there, because otherwise Geiger's just in for a very, very bad day. And oh lord, he trying. I mean, good hits, just not enough.
Uh-oh. Oh, lucky.
The howitzer shell gets shot out of the sky, mostly by Malma's anti-air. Geiger just trying to live. Oh, and the commander active. It will be available once again, Team Greenleaf. The Moonshine Commander active gives all projectiles EMP effect, so we'll get to see the howitzer cast EMP all over Geiger's base, which has not been a great experience for Geiger so far. It's also why we see 20 mils more often out of Moonshine players, because each and every projectile for the 20 mil actually shuts down things, just like the EMP does. We see all these cannons here temporarily shut down, and the doors locked open after getting splashed around by the 20 mil. Okay.
Both those howitzers were taken down that were heading towards Malmay.
Yes.
They probably should have aimed him at Geiger.
Probably, but Malmay is certainly the bigger threat.
AA is too effective there.
They tried it again. Yeah, Geiger's getting hit by the... Oh, that's a good hit. Geiger's getting hit by the 20 mils. Malm, not so much. Okay. So, for so long as Westwind has cannons, they will consistently deal damage to Team Greenleaf, which tends to trend toward the cannon's favor. Speaking of cannons, Vicro launched one at Geiger and took out 3 wind turbines, which is going to be a pretty big setback for Geiger. Oh, wow. Stability
Jeez.
tech coming in clutch and holding that base together.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A bit rickety. Oh.
When you see flashing 3-longs like that, you know you've got a bad time coming.
Uh-oh. Okay.
God. They're trying so hard to knock those howitzers out of the air. It's just not happening. Dranistian not having it and putting metal. Which is something he can't really do too much of, because with that weight on the lower part of his fort, any amount of twisting, turning, that kind of thing can cause massive problems for him. It just collapses his entire fort outright. Okay.
Dranistian lost his 20 mil, I think.
Yes, he did. He opened the doors and, well, they're closed, but there's nothing behind them anymore. Every time he shuts the shield down to repair it, a cannon comes through and takes out the turbines.
Yeah.
But Dranistian's just getting bullied by these cannons. I mean, that's what makes cannons good. I mean, they just always deal damage. If the howitzers can be shot down, cannons can't. And yeah, sure, Geiger's eating these howitzers shot after shot.
He is.
But, I mean, it does even it up. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. It just, like, you can't keep taking those howitzer hits like that. The reason why howitzers are less consistent than cannons is just because they can be shot down. But if you land your shots, as they have been, then, well, the howitzers are just straight up better than cannons. Like, shot for shot. Geiger's base is a testament to that, being all deformed and spiderwebby.
Oh.
Uh-oh. We have a self-destruct.
Self. Yeah. Something didn't... Oh.
Howitzer.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Cutting it a little close to those tiny doors, Dranistian loses his howitzer, and with it, likely his chances of participating in this game. While he still has full eco and the ability to reproduce, this is going to mean that all of Team 2's weapons are going to refocus over to Vicro. And Vicro in the top base just doesn't have... Are they still trying to take out Dranistian? They're still trying to take out Dranistian. Okay. I was gonna say, like, Vicro in the top base, like, he's thick and chunky, but that's not taking 3 cannons worth of thick and chunky. Okay. Perhaps more importantly, the loss of Dranistian's howitzer means that Geiger gets to live. From the start of this game, Geiger has been able to take hits from a single howitzer. It's the second howitzer that gets him. And so far, Geiger has not died, but he's not been doing particularly well dealing with that double howitzer. But now that there's only a single howitzer on the field, Geiger's not only not dying, but he's about to complete a 20 mil, which is just additional firepower. And that's something that Team Greenleaf really can't afford to deal with right now. Those cannons are retargeting Vicro. I'm not surprised to see Geiger continue firing at Dranistian. The angle and position of his doors dictate that he's going to have a hard time shooting up at Vicro. So it doesn't surprise me to see Geiger continuing to shoot. Malmay has retargeted toward Vicro in the upper base, And this has definitely resulted in a bad time for Vicro. For the time being, Vicro's thickness can hold it. But that's going to not be the case forever. Almost gets a door snipe. Second shot. Third shot fully exposes Vicro's cannon. But there is no fourth shot follow-up. Good lord, the 20 mils shutting down anti-air and cannons alike. But it's not enough. The howitzer doesn't make it across, and, well, those cannons will come back online in a few seconds. Oh. It looks like Viker up here is just hardwalling off his weapons, because he can't afford to keep replacing them with doors. He just needs to take hits.
Oh, it made it.
Oh. Geiger.
Follow up with, so.
Yeah. Geiger almost collapsing there. Just
he did,
so big and beefy of a fort. It just can't handle its own weight.
So they've got
the howitzer reveals.
Howitzer themselves. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
And this time, Team Westwind's got a lot to follow up with.
Yeah. There we go.
Vicro, despite dishing out howitzers this whole game, has been unable to receive them himself. Drinistian selling off both of his cannons here, both of his 20s. That's a concede. He's just conceding in brilliant fashion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Well done, Team Westwind. Wins 2-0, taking third place in the Forts Pro League. Congratulations, Melman and Geiger. That's a 2-1. You're correct. It's a 2-0. Yeah. It's winning 2-1, claiming third place in the Forts Pro League.
That was a good bronze match.
It was a very good bronze match. I'm super into that one. Like, that was nice. Good back and forth.
And now we head into the final. I imagine there's going to be some vetoing, unless that's already happened. But we shall see.
Beautiful. All right. So as we go on to the final, we're getting ourselves ready here. Getting all the cats herded.
Shout out to Salzwerk for hosting the matches on his machine.
Yes, Salzwerk is doing the hosting this time. For most of these players are European and therefore further away from me than they are from Germany. Speaking of Germany, if you guys want to see these matches in the German tongue, make sure to check out Salzwerk on Twitch. Similarly, you can check out I can't pronounce this. There is a French content creator doing these same matches.
Oh yeah,
in French. 42 Scientist is over there with them.
Yes. who we can pronounce.
Yes. Go support 42 over on Twitch. And make sure to give him a thank you and a shout out to for cat herding.
Yeah. 42's been sort of mostly in charge of the Pro League and Amateur League, and he's doing a great job.
He really is.
Mm. Him and Rome also do help us with a lot of testing when we have updates coming up and stuff, so they help us quite a bit with all things forts.
Yes. Doesn't it feel good to have, like, both Rome and 42 came from, well, the community.
Yeah.
And that's to have such dedicated community members to, like, join the forts team at a more official level.
It feels really good, and they're really good at it, and they also, they get along with everybody in the community. And then they're also firm when they need to be, because the internet and
the cats must be herded.
Yes.
All right, so we've got a quarter of the players in the lobby. The vetoing has been completed. Good work. Just a matter of getting players into the lobby and then getting it started.
Okay, so veterans and pro aim.
Yes.
This is going to get serious. These are people that have faced off before.
Yes.
Oh, Eaton just enters the lobby and he's got this ridiculous string of medals beside his name. It's just insane. It's like we need to make more space in the lobby for his display.
I didn't realize there's actually a MVP badge that you guys gave out for the Forts Pro League Season 1 playoff. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And we'll do that for this one as well. And we did one for the FAL. And
I remember the vote for it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember the vote for it. I just didn't realize it was an actual badge. Oh, that's gotta feel sad. Oh, that's ooh. Okay. Oh God. I appreciate how lighthearted the competitors are. Is infinite game allowed? This man's not gonna do.
Helicopter wants to swap Eaton with MCC.
Oh, no time limit. Yeah, there's no time limit. Okay. I was gonna say he's thinking infinite game implies that the game cannot end, which is possible on this map to some-ish degree, because you can swing your core off. I mean, kinda, sorta. Buzzsaws exist, so not really, but some maps you can get it to some real nonsense with the core swings. Okay. Oh God, his helicopter already planning spite.
Yep.
I mean, he's certainly welcome to try. Unless they do an agreement to just not attack each other, because that would probably not be good. Alright, the players are in the lobby. The match is made. Everyone is in the process of readying up. Looking at you, Eaton and Firework. And then we'll be jumping into the next round. The next round is the first round of the finals. This is going to be deciding first and second place for the Forts Pro League Season 2. Remember, this will be a best of 5. So this is round 1 of potentially 5 in this, well, shaping up to be a glorious match. All right.
We're just waiting on Eaton.
Yeah, they're...
Okay, Eaton, if you don't ready up, I'm going to start pulling out your medals.
One
Just
medal per
randomly.
minute.
Yeah, that's it. I have the power.
Yeah, apparently he's in a voice chat with the other team. Just we're getting the smack talk is starting early. Why? Just voice chatting with the enemy team aloud. I mean, it's not disallowed. Just not during the match. Uh,
42 with the dad jokes. Eden says, I'm back. 42 says, hi, back. I'm 42.
Can you tell?
But
All right. We've gotten it out of our system.
as a dad, I approve.
Yes. Yes. We've got the silliness out of the system. We're jumping into it. Oh, good lord. I appreciate the players. I really do. Let me adjust these. And we're off. We're off to round 1 of the finals. This is a best of 5 between the veterans and Pro Aim. Where here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Veterans. Eaton and Firework are playing as the Eagle Eye Commander. Eagle Eye Commander, we have seen one instance of it in the playoffs so far, where they were going for the explosive kinetics. Did not work. Did not work even a little bit. But Eagle Eye is not known for the explosive upgrade to their weapons these days. Instead is known for the double shot weapons, specifically the double shot heavy weapons. So you can get things like double howitzer projectiles or double cannon projectiles, which is just kind of good. So very often we see Eagle Eye team go for cannons or similar heavy weapons. However, that's not quite what we're seeing here today. We are seeing the token EMP and double swarm coming out of veterans. So this is going to be the nuclear option with a... Oh, wow. He's even selling off his tech. So we're not even going to see heavy weapons out of Eaton at all this game, I suspect. Unless something goes very, very off the rails. Whereas Firework is likely going to be teching up to lasers very soon. On the other side, we do see the token EMP coming out of Pro Aim. Pro Aim playing as the Pinch Fist Commander. Pinch Fist Commander is your pinnacle rush out heavy weapons at every cost commander. Typically resulting in rather skeletal-like bases. We do see heavy weapons tech almost completed for both players so far in Team Pro Aim. Oh my. Well, here comes the first launch. The sniper anti-air has begun once more.
That's interesting.
Some of those swarm missiles deciding they wanted to go to visit space and
Yeah.
not come back down. I wonder if they got affected by the EMP.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like, I thought that was just out of range to affect them, but maybe not. Because that would certainly cause them to go to space, but they seem just out of range. Well, either way. Got the sniper follow-up. It just... Team veterans. The moment there's blood in the water at all. We do see heavy weapons successfully placed for helicopter. Chudu is stereotype. It is a plasma beam. Firework just finishing up his laser production facility right now, so he'll be able to place a laser beam soon. Looks like he's going fire beams because he doesn't have the necessary storages to go for plasmas. Although he's placing the storages now, so perhaps you may have seen a situation where it was a mistake. He intended to go plasmas and just couldn't. Shout out to Narf Node. We do see a howitzer for MCC in the lower base. For Team Pro-Am. Oh my. I just don't know what to expect here. I mean, it's swarm missile nuke with firebeam support out of Team 1, but out of Team 2, we've got heavy weapons. They're not particularly rushed out either. Like, they've got full eco on everything. Typically at this stage of the game, you would expect the heavy weapons to be at the advantage. So I've just got to give some advantage to Pro-Aim here, but we've got veterans with Eaton on the other side, playing as Eagle Eye, which can catch players off by surprise so very easily. There's no anti-air, so that nuke's getting across completely uncontested. It won't do anything because, well, Team 2 is prepared for it. They're just prepared to face tank it quite easily. But it does make it across uncontested. Will that fire beam come off cooldown, or are they going to manage to repair the 20 mil in time? Fire beam's off cooldown. Howitzer fires. Good damage.
Wow.
20 mil follow-up. Breaks the eco, but not much more. Fire beam, plasma beam dives into Eaton's base, but nothing else. Just chunks through some of the wood, but no actual damage dealt. We do have a shotgun on a tiny door coming out for Eaton here. So that's going to be wielded with great prejudice against all things howitzer shaped. And howitzer is about ready to fire, so we may see Eaton sit on the shotgun here in a second. He doesn't get it in time. Fire beam, plasma beam. Touches.
Okay.
But the base doesn't crumble.
No.
It shears off a lot of the wood. Oh, the 20 mil just doesn't have enough power to break through a single piece of metal, which you hate to see it. But this is the nature of the 20 mil.
Yep.
Okay. Oh my. Okay, surely Eaton sits on the shotgun. Yeah, okay, there it is. I was going to say, like, you cannot let that howitzer land again, or it's over. Even so, the firebeam plasma beam just barely doesn't make it through Fireworks' defenses here. That energy shield coming in clutch, defending most of those, just ricocheting most of those 20 mil rounds off without any cost. letting the base cook for a moment before the plasma... Or does he not have the energy? He's got the energy. He's just waiting for it. Yeah, he's waiting to take out the shotgun. I guess the door snipe on the shotgun. Howitzer will be free to fly across next round. Or the next time it fires. There is the potential that Eaton decides that fireworks sniper is acceptable casualties and straight blows through fireworks sniper to kill the howitzer, which I would not be surprised is the case. Didn't have an opportunity to. The fire beam protects the howitzer for the entire duration. But I'm entirely convinced he would have if that fire beam wasn't there. We're not seeing a lot of action out of the nuke. I think it's just too little too late. Like the nuke is, you can never count a player out who's got a nuke, but I mean, generally by the 6-7 minute mark, nuke is just not the most effective thing on the field. We're already at the 9-minute mark. And everyone on Team Pro Aim has got a heavy investment into anti-air. Okay. Oh.
Huh.
The fire beam didn't quite protect the howitzer there. Did not expect. Oh, almost gets it. Helicopter almost losing his plasma to a door snipe. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's gonna make it.
It does. And it does a lot of damage. That hits very hard.
Something exploded.
Shout out to the Eagle Eye explosive shotgun rounds. Making their appearance.
Oh, he missed.
Swing and a miss. Howitzer makes it across, but no real follow-up. No, the plasma counts as a follow-up.
That's it.
And that'll do it. Firework falls. Eaton going to immediately expand downward, hoping to reclaim anything possible.
Oh, he's going to have a lot of eco now.
You certainly will. Unless the fire burns it all?
Oh.
Okay. So Eaton will struggle for energy production here. Rocking out at 9 mines and 4 turbines. There's no chance the Team Veterans has the ability to upkeep their weapons. Sorry, 6 turbines. Although 2 of them are exposed and Team Pro Aim knows about them. Lasers digging through, but not breaching the main defenses. Alright, what are we looking at here? So, the strategy for Team Pro Aim right now seems to just be ramp up. As we see investment into defenses, we see a lot of investment into defenses. And we see basically Team Pro Aim looking to stabilize.
After all that.
Yeah, because they just didn't need more DPS to break Eaton. It's just a matter of hitting him enough times. They knew it, and that's it. Team Pro Aim takes round 1 in the finals.
I thought that was going to go a lot longer. There was like a lull there, like everybody's charging up, and it was just one shot in the right place, and down Eden went.
Yeah, typically that phase of the game tends to last a little bit longer, just because everyone is just because well, the offending team is not trying to remove their opponent so much as just keep them in place while they ramp up their additional firepower and shore everything up so that they, once they get further ahead. It just so happens that Eaton's base was less stable than he would have liked it to be. It fell to the right laser in the right place. As we're moving on to round 2 in this best of 5. Veterans actually dropping around. It's an interesting choice of a commander pick for Team Veterans that time around.
Yeah, I agree. What will they do this time?
Well, we're about to find out as we're jumping right into the next round. Here we have the sides are swapped, and we have no unusual commander choice yet. Helicopter here in the bottom. Everyone going for standard type build orders, it would seem. Okay, so here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Pro Aim playing as the Spook Commander. Spook Commander in the competitive series tends to be played mostly for its money-stealing elements. They'll be facing off against their opponents, Team Veterans here on the right-hand side. Firework and Eaton are blazing ahead in the typical Pinch Fist Commander. They are playing Pinch Fist Commander, and therefore, well, they're doing a Pinch Fist rush. Selling off important components of their internal structure that they may bootstrap their economy and race the tech tree that much faster. The way this is going, we may actually see a 420 time plasma. I guess not plasma. He's not going for the cannon. No, okay. So he's going for it is a pinch fist rush. It's just not your 420 timing. Interesting. So far, everything looks fairly standard, except for helicopter, going for swarm missiles. This may not be an obvious... While this is revealed and visible to their opponents, it is relatively easy to miss, owing to it being somewhat hard to see, and unusual, such that, like, this build does not scream swarm missiles. It is possible to catch his Team 2 off guard here with this. So I am interested to see how it works out. We do see swarm missiles out of both teams here. Oh boy. I'm not terribly surprised to see swarm missiles in this particular map. They're just good. Being so far forward, they're hard to stop. You need not play the Seep commander for it. Overdrive was another very popular commander for swarm missile rushes. Spook commander does everything well. Pinch Fist also does everything rushy well. So it is not terribly unusual to see swarm missiles here. It is just not the primary strategy, or should I say. It is not the strategy being, it doesn't have any real commander synergy. So it is not the primary strat so much as we're going swarms because it messes you up. Mind you, helicopter going double nuke. Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Team Veterans is going to have to react to this. Question is, when? I assume that Team Veterans knows that it's nuke at this point. Not strictly because the nukes have been revealed, so much as Pro Aim's not done anything else. Therefore, it has to be nukes. Like, that's also to say they could have just looked and seen. We do see the laser weaponry coming out of Eaton up top. I don't see any anti-air, although both players for Team 2 are starting to work on their defenses a bit more. So they will be able to defend against things. The question is, will it be enough? Because both of those nukes are coming off are completing construction approximately now. And therefore, will be able to deal a good damage. The nukes have been launched, and there's no anti-air out of Team Veterans.
Oh, jeez.
Firework just eats it to the face.
Oh, one more snipe. Yep.
And that's it.
Wow.
I think Firework was just hoping to defend it via just the raw girth of his base, but it didn't matter because the nukes came from above, despite launching from below.
Now, the response.
Responding in kind.
Oh.
Helicopter nearly falls.
Yeah.
The nuke softening everything up for the plasma to punch almost clean through. Like it hit. Uh-oh.
Same fate?
Surely it doesn't. Oh, well, fire beam might do it.
It's yep.
Yeah, okay.
Jeez. Okay.
The joy of having a lot of secondary weapons, or follow-up weapons. This actually puts Team Veterans massively in the lead.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Unless
Pro Aim
MCC can get down there, but that's all disintegrating.
Yeah, no, it's...
Yeah.
Even just having to spend that much money to travel down there, it's more than... It gives Eaton such a massive head start.
Does.
Like, despite Pro Aim having a commander that's much more suited for this stage of the game, as Pinch Fist really only has a strong benefit in the early stage of the game and falls off pretty hard as time goes on. So Pinch Fist has fallen off at this point. Quite heavily, but it just doesn't matter because it's so far ahead.
Oh, that took him down to 7.
From 100 to 7. One quick burst. Yeah, so MCC's got half of a base versus Veterans.
Mega base.
Mega base is a good word to describe it. This is only going to trend one direction. It's just a matter of how long does it take to burn through MCC here. Oh my. Nuclear launch detected. Where are the laser beam follow-ups? Right there.
I think MCC tried to do the old resource steal in the middle of that attack there.
I mean, it's a good idea. It's a very good idea. There's a reason. That's one of the reasons why Spook is such a, well, good commander. He's like, I don't want you to have that sniper there. Stop it. And now he's just nuking it. Okay, fair enough. It's like, you have a sniper there. I'm gonna make it not be there.
Yeah.
That's one way to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Now Eaton can fire his fire beams without worrying about them getting door sniped. At least by the sniper. Oh. I saw that Eaton was aiming for the mines earlier. A little surprised to see he's still focusing them, but I mean, I guess why not? It's just as much a win condition as going to the core directly. Man, the nuke going inside the hole before detonating. Was this it? Oh, they didn't hit the core.
I thought they were going for the fire beam.
No, yes. I thought they were aiming for the fire beam. I was expecting the fire beam to explode and damage the core.
Oh, and then take out the core. Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
It's only at 7%. Like the fire beam explosion doesn't do much, but at 7%, oof. And the follow-up.
There we go. Yeah.
Ta-da! With that, Veterans wins round 2 in this best of 5. Very, very well done. Well, that got messy.
It did.
But Veterans did come out on top at the end. Now I'm wondering, how will Helicopter and MCC reply?
I imagine violently.
I should certainly hope so. All right. Why are you like this? Okay, so the teams are set. The map is ready. Need to double check with the players and make sure that their commanders are set and everything is good to go. And then we will be jumping right into the next round.
Okay. And Barulo's in here. Why is he in here?
He's helping with the casting.
Yeah. Okay, we're ready.
All right, let's go.
Cool.
Let's do this. And we're off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 3 of the Forts Pro League Finals. This is a best of 5. Right here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Veterans. Team Veterans playing as the Eagle Eye Commander. They played the commander here in the first match against in this series, and they didn't come out on top. So I'm curious to see how they're going to handle it this time. Looks like pretty standard build orders so far. Whereas Team Pro Aim here on the right-hand side are playing as the Warthog Commander. Warthog Commander, most known for its heavy weapon play, tends to have the same opener as Eagle Eye, so we don't expect anything terribly extraordinary from either team here. Kind of expect a 4.5 minute truce before things start getting spicy. Of course, at any point in time, someone could throw down a sniper, and then just that whole situation starts. They're picking off people's exposed gubbins. Okay, so we do see straight to heavy tech for Eaton. I was a little worried he might do something like storm missile swap again. Let's see. Straight to heavies for everyone on team 2. Firework hasn't placed their heavy weapons tech yet, waiting on energy production. There it is. And done. Okay, yeah, so we are going to see probably closer to a 5.5 minute truce before the firepower starts flying. We do see some buzzsaws for Team 2. They will be attempting to keep Team 1 in check. Make sure to keep them honest. And given that Team 1 is keeping with the exposed metal, I strongly suspect we won't see notable play with those buzzsaws for bits. There is likely a vulnerable spot where Team 2 will be using wood to defend. Nope, is already defending against that possibility. Okay. I was about to say, there's a moment of time after the placement of weapons, but before the armoring process, where those buzzsaws could be used to disconnect the Team 1's weapons from their base. But it's not the world we're living in, because there's a sandbag wall defending against such things. So, this looks like Team 2 recognizes this and just has decided not to use the buzzsaws. They haven't... is he going to shoot at something with that? Nope. He's just kind of sitting there looking around. I think he realizes there's not much to shoot at here, so he's just not shooting at anything. He may end up using it anyways, because, you know, why not? But I expect no major damage dealt here. Yeah. MCC just immediately hops off that. He's like, nope, better things to do with my life. Okay, so we're coming up. We just hit the 4-minute mark. Everyone's building the weapons that we expect them to be building when we expect them to be building them. That is to say, a howitzer out of both the top players, which are similar build orders. Helicopter a little bit ahead of the counterpart on the other side. So I grant advantage to helicopter in this particular situation. The bottom team, the bottom players, MCC and Eaton, are doing the exact same thing. Big shock. Eaton notably ahead of MCC in this regard. In fact, he's got his fire beam already completed. He could have gone with the timing attack if he had reason to expect that MCC's wasn't completed already. This will convince him that it's already completed, and therefore does not need to do the timing attack. Trying to get the cheeky shot from below and go directly to the core. Doesn't quite make it. Helicopter's prepared for such things.
Worth a try.
Absolutely worth a try. MCC once again firing upon Eaton, which immediately prompts multiple snipers replying. Oh, that's big. The anti-air for firework, shutting helicopter's first howitzer shell just completely down.
Oh, wow.
So,
That,
we had a couple major exchanges there. First, Eaton fired his plasma directly into the bottom side of helicopter, taking out the cannon and causing the cannon to explode, nearly taking out helicopter's core with it. So that's a big deal. Although helicopter still holds the howitzer, which is the biggest element of this. But near simultaneously, Eaton's plasma beam got door sniped by MCC's, costing him not only the plasma beam, but also costing him core health, bringing him down to 81%. Now, it's worth noting that Eaton at some point sold off his storages, moved around a bunch of internal stuff. It's going to take him a moment to get that plasma beam back. But a solid and beautiful hit Helicopter takes a direct hit from the howitzer in what was very nearly a lethal shot.
Yep.
It is worth noting that at this stage of the game, we have both teams doing the same strategy with different flavored commanders. For Pro Aim, their heavy weapons, like their howitzer for example, hit harder. They have empowered heavies, meaning they just deal much more damage per shot. On the other hand, veterans gets double shot versions of their weapons.
Down to 15% on helicopter.
So we can expect to see multiple howitzer rounds coming out of firework and such similar. 15% on helicopter is just concerning. Like, you do not want to be living in a world where you have 15% HP because you can get splashed, damaged. Oh, is that it?
Is it enough?
Yeah. The follow-up it is. Firework falls.
Yeah. That was really good teamwork there.
Absolutely. MCC cracked him. I'm sorry, helicopter cracked him open, and MCC finished. That's well, that's the usual tactic for this particular map. With good reason. It works, and it works really well.
That's gonna miss. Oh no, just catches it.
Unfortunately for Eaton, Eaton's real hope here is that plasma, and well, he doesn't have one. Namely, it's still under construction, about 2/3 of the way completed. But if that falls for any reason, well, Team 2 just runs away with this match uncontested. Even now, Team 2 is massively ahead. This could be lethal.
Yeah,
it is.
Wow.
Just like that, Pro Aim comes through with a rather clean implementation of the howitzer plasma. And, wins it. Pro Aim with the victory in this round. Remember guys, this is a best of 5. So that was round 3, putting Team Pro Aim in the lead and up to match point as we go into round 4. It's actually going to put Team Veterans in a rough spot.
Yep. Which they've been in before, but they've pulled through.
Alright, so we'll get set up with the next match here. Makes me wonder if veterans are trying to make it a good game. Make a good series. Bring it all the way to 5.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't put it past them. They do look like they're trying.
They do.
Alright. Looks like we're about ready to go. I'm excited, as this is the match point with Pro Aim in the lead. This could be the last round of the Forts Pro League. All right. Match is made, the players are ready. We'll be starting momentarily. And we're off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 4 of the best of 5 in the Forts Pro League Finals. Here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Pro Aim, getting themselves set up with the Spook Commander. A one-size-fits-all commander. Looks like they'll be doing, you can expect some relatively standard play out of them this time around. They'll be facing off against their opponents. It is Team Veterans. Team Veterans playing as the Warthog Commander. Warthog Commander specializes in those sweet, tasty, heavy weapons, especially cannons. That's not true. It's heavy weapons of any kind. I'm just partial to cannons because I'm biased. We'll get to see how that goes forward. We do see a sniper already out for Team 1, just trying to touch the turbines, which is a very sniper thing to do. Shouldn't get any kind of reaction out of Team 2 here. More importantly, Team 2 is going Swarm Missile to Nuke Rush again. And I'm pretty certain that Pro Aim knows about it, in part because, well, Team 2's revealed it, and in part because Pro Aim is playing as the Spook Commander. Interestingly enough, this is exactly the same strategy that Team Pro Aim is going for. So we're going to see Nuke and Lasers against Nuke and Lasers. The difference being that Team Pro Aim is the Spook Commander, so they can steal money from their opponents, while Veterans are playing as the Warthog Commander, so they just hit harder with everything. So, this will be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, and Pro Aim has a chance at winning the whole thing here.
Oh, absolutely. If Pro Aim wins this, they win the entire Forts Pro League. If Veterans wins it, we'll be going to the decider. First Swarm Missile launch out of Team Pro Aim, taking the initiative. We do have a slight difference in strategy here, it would seem. With Firework, the Swarm Missile player focusing on mine upgrades before getting the nuke. This means that they will be delayed in nuke timing, but have more eco to do things. Compare this to MCC, who I imagine is going straight to nuke, because they're saving up, yes, there it is. Because they're saving up money and not spending it on upgrades.
Which strategy do you prefer?
These days, honestly, veteran strategy with the upgraded mines.
The eco, yeah.
There was a time when I would have said upgraded nukes all the way, but while I think that works well for ladder, that doesn't really work so well in the Forts Pro League. There's a skill. There is a points in player game knowledge and general skill where you don't get blindsided by the nuke anymore. And the first couple volleys can be mostly reliably defended. So you expect the game to go longer. And instead of attempting to end the game immediately with the first, 2 nuke volleys, you instead are trying to break your opponent by dealing like that. Taking enough, grinding them down with the nuke instead. And for that end, having additionally eco to keep pace with your opponent is just more effective. Interesting note here. Firework is not continuing to upgrade his mines, so he's got two upgraded mines and one standard mine. Compare this to MCC, the other missile player for his missile player counterpart. Is running 4 unupgraded mines, so he has the same eco. They have the same mineral income as each other. Just one has developed upgrades, the other has not. Helicopter unleashing the power of the plasma. Almost taking Firework out in the process. Eaton a bit behind Helicopter's timing. Eaton's anti-air clearing the skies. No more nuke, at least for now. Nice plasma round. Takes out the energy production for MCC. That's going to set back MCC quite extensively. Without turbines, those nukes just can't be fired with any reliability. So we expect those... MCC's got enough banked up to launch again, if he so pleases, but in doing so, he will expend his bank and therefore won't have the ability to rebuild his economy for some time. So we expect, generally when that happens, we expect him to not launch his nukes and instead focus on rebuilding his turbines and therefore delay any aggressive potential for a substantial amount of time. And there it is. The empowered plasma cuts through an additional layer of defenses. Team Pro Aim, not prepared for that occurrence, loses the plasma. And with the loss of the plasma, well, Helicopter suddenly is near defanged. It's going to put Team Veterans notably in the lead in terms of momentum and map control. Because at this point, MCC is just getting his eco back online and will be able to start launching nukes. And Helicopter, well, he still has the plasma, still has the fire beam to help get the nuke across the field, but with no follow-up, their Team 1's damage output is running low and slow. Whereas Team 2, looking to expand. Snipers going both ways. Oh ho ho. Bullied. Didn't even get the target paint. Alright, I'm kind of surprised to see Eaton isn't expanding to get an additional fire. Oh, he did. He just put it in an awkward place. Okay. That works too. I was like, surely now is the time for an additional fire beam. It was. The sniping. The back and forth sniping.
It's next level, really, isn't it?
It is. It reminds me of... it's reminiscent of the AI tournaments.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay. I was about to say, does that nuke really make it? It didn't, but it almost did. It was close. Alright. Oh! Preemptively doors... Yeah. Preemptively sniping Eaton's laser there. They almost got it, too.
They did, yeah. It just closed just in time.
It's like it partially opened the door, and that was a mistake. Even with the fire beam, it's not enough. There's still too much anti-air for Team 2. The nuke's getting shut down. On the other hand, Team 1 doesn't have that degree of map control. Nuke gets across near uncontested. It's a strange statement to say Team 1 is lacking map control with that degree of sniping happening.
Yeah.
The sniping is just constant and effective. It's just not enough.
Is that going to hit?
It
Whoa.
does. Eaton takes a heavy hit, dropping him down to 76%, losing chunks of his anti-air, losing lots of his ablative armor. That did some damage. Alright, this has turned into a back and forth slogfest.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Funny story. Helicopter's earlier damage and Eaton's damage is exactly the same, down to 76% for both.
Yeah, that's funny.
It could not be more even than now.
Oh, it missed again. Oh.
Ooh. The nuke makes it. Eaton down to 60%. Eaton getting hit by these nukes, and it's hurting. As you can see here, well, the damage is adding up. Yes, sure, the nukes haven't hit critical things and haven't broken Eaton yet, but his base is getting smaller and smaller by the second. By the volley? And it's adding up. Double nuke launching from Team 2. Threading the needle, the nuke makes it through the volley of minigun fire.
Ooh, that was lucky.
A heavy hit, but only splashes across the defenses. Helicopter survives intact.
Oh, drunk nuke. Oh.
Close, but not quite. Drunk nuke gets taken out of the sky. Eaton survives this time. Ooh, manually pre-fired MGs. Knock the nuke out of the sky. That's a hard no for you.
Okay, they've had enough of the miniguns.
Eaton
says, enjoying their effectiveness.
Stop it.
They were quite
I mean,
good.
they were quite good. They were knocking anti-air out, they were knocking sandbags out, and even took the nuke out once. The nuke was the final straw, it would seem.
Oh, if that's yeah.
Oh, is that it? Oh, stability
my God,
tech
he
strong.
saved it.
He caught it. No, he just caught it.
He caught it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, the stability tech there, it's blinking, which means that it
strong.
was...
Oh, it's... There's stuff going on. There's stuff going on.
Okay. Oh, man. It's just back of... I don't want to zoom into other side because there's just so many hits getting thrown around both sides.
Yeah, I've just got it zoomed out. It's...
Oh, gosh. Alright, where do you send the plasma? I think the answer is nowhere because there's nowhere to send it. Alright. So, who's going to start the buzzsaw spam first is the question. Looks like both players simultaneously. Helicopter taking a lot of hits, losing almost all of his defenses, but staying alive. The sniping's still happening. Oh, that's big.
Oh, that was a good nuke shot.
So that nuke did the damage it needed to. It got underneath helicopter's defenses and slammed into helicopter's weaponry, knocking out 2 fire beams. With those 2 fire beams gone, well, Team Pro Aim's own nukes just don't have the defenses or defense, anti-air or map suppression required to really have a hope of getting across with any frequency. That's going to be a That's gonna be a game changer here. Welcome to, it wasn't even a drunk nuke. It
No.
just decided to go wild. That's gonna put Team Pro Aim on a pretty substantial back foot here. Helicopter is finishing up another fire beam, and he deletes the defenses in front of it just to have an opportunity to get it, to use it. It takes a few hits there, but it's immediately gonna get targeted by firework. Not a big surprise. It should be fine.
Oh, wow. It did the same thing up above now. And again, wow.
No.
Jeez. Yeah, that was a little bit unlucky.
A little bit. Both nukes went up and over the defenses before slamming down into the foundation nodes.
Yep.
Like, that is where you want your nukes to land, but the chances of that happening is just... I mean,
Yeah.
you roll the d20 enough, you'll get the crit success, eventually. Didn't expect two of them back to back. Oh, man.
Drunk. Oh. That was possibly the Hail Mary.
Possibly. You can never count a player out so long as they have as long as they got nukes, but there's not a lot of time left around an MCC's fort. Just burning through the last of their armor reserves. MCC is taking heavy hits here. It's going to launch again. It is extremely unlikely that this lands. It's not impossible, just extremely unlikely. Okay. Immediately shut down.
Yep.
Alright then. Just waiting for Team 2 to get their weapons off cooldown, and then wipe MCC off the map. And the plasma follow-up should do it.
Yes.
Clean
Yeah,
overpen. With that, Team Veterans evens the score. The match is now 2-2 in this best of 5, which means the next team to win the decider, to win the match, will be victorious and take first place for the Forts Pro League. I am very excited.
I was just looking at the replay of those nukes. That was insane.
They just dance around things and slam wherever they're not
Yeah.
wanted. All right. All right, the players are ready. We'll be jumping into the next match momentarily. This will be the decider match of the finals of the Forts Pro League. The winner of this match will win the entire Forts Pro League for this season.
Awesome.
Very awesome. This will be the decider between first place and second. And we're off. Oh, Lord. Veterans playing Eagle Eye again. They have lost every round which they played Eagle Eye. Oh boy.
All right, who are you predicting? Still veterans?
Yes, but I am less confident than I once was.
Because of the commander choice.
Yes. Partially. That is a big part of it. Okay. Surely we don't see swarm missiles this time, right? Yeah, no one's going swarm missiles. Alright, easy. Unless Eaton decides to swap out tech switch at the 2-minute mark. Okay, so with the commander choice, we do expect to see some later gameplay here. Eagle Eye, known for going heavy weapons and then double shotting the opponent's out of the game, catching him by surprise with more projectiles than should be possible for any given point in time. Compare this Team Pro Aim. You're playing as the Armadillo Commander. Armadillo Commander also likes to go late, but not necessarily rush out heavy weapons. The Armadillo Commander focuses on defense. They can defend better and more effectively, more efficiently than any other commander, and by a substantial margin. And in doing so, it enables them to go heavy eco and just out-tank the enemy DPS. And, well, once you're able to tank the enemy DPS and still do things like build weapons, then you've kind of just won the game by virtue of not being able to lose. Well, I suspect we won't be seeing out-tanking happening this game. It still trends toward Team Pro Aim wanting to drag the game out and not being afraid to take a few hits in doing so. I would not be surprised to see upgrade centers thrown in along here. However, it does look like both players with Team Pro Aim are going for more standard rushy styles. We do see buzzsaws coming out from Team Pro Aim, but Team Veterans has not been greedy and not left themselves vulnerable to such things, at least not at the moment.
Howitzer from Eaton.
Placing it below.
Yeah,
Okay.
interesting.
This position struggles to hit the top base, so this is very much so specifically out to deal with helicopter. However, helicopter has done the exact same thing on near exact timing, so I was kind of anticipating that Team Pro Aim would take it slower and cede the first shot to Team Veterans, but that's not the case at all. Team Pro Aim is sticking to a standard traditional build order, just like Team Veterans is, and is in fact further ahead in that build order than Team Veterans. Which is interesting to me. Okay. So, in terms of game state, right now, I would consider Team Pro Aim to be in the lead. They've just executed their.
Much
they've
faster.
just executed faster, more clean. They've got all their stuff. They've got all their ducks in a row. Everything is as pristine as it gets for this stage of the game. I say that knowing full well that both teams have effectively gone with the truce. Yeah, you know, the 5-minute truce.
Yeah.
But 5 minutes just passed 4 seconds ago, and you can tell because the fire beam just got used. Okay. Interesting. So, with Team Veterans, or should I say Eaton's Cannon, finishing up here, I expect it to get used almost immediately. Because this is why, and that if he doesn't use it, then he's going to get pummeled really hard. And I guarantee you he would prefer to have the enemy being more distracted with having to repair themselves than, you know, pummeling his fort in.
Double shot.
The double shot howitzer? I think he doesn't get the double shot cannon here.
Oh.
He doesn't get double shot cannon here. But
Wow.
it doesn't matter, because it's enough. The plasma follow-up from above? I mean, 2 howitzers and a cannon shell. Like, a helicopter just ate that like a champ.
Yep.
Usually that combo right there is often enough just to eliminate players. Just outright. And, well, helicopter survived it. Didn't survive the laser follow-up, though. So that's really unfortunate for him. It is now down to MCC, who's got the commander to take hits, but it's a lot of hits to take here. That is a lot of hits to take here.
Yeah.
It is worth noting that the howitzer for Eaton down below was designed in a way to not really be able to hit top base. However, it looks like he's redesigning his entire fort, nearly opening his core directly, just so he has an opportunity to shoot back. I understand this. This is a man after my own heart. Plasma beam, fire beam, making an effort to disconnect fireworks weaponry. Won't quite be enough. But we will have double shot howitzer and the double shot cannon coming out of Eaton here very shortly. That's going to be a difficult prospect for MCC to survive. Howitzer and Howard cannon and does he not have the I don't think he has the energy to fire. He doesn't have the energy to double shot. He'll be fixing that soon, I'm sure. Yeah, just getting additional turbines so we can actually afford the double shot. Ooh, yeah, there's the lack of defenses coming into play. The fire beam overpenning the base. Doesn't take out the howitzer, but it came close. Which is scary. It's a good hit.
Wow. And, ooh. Wow.
There it
There
is.
it is.
Death by firebeam. Okay. Expecting that to take at least another volley of the howitzer, but there it goes.
I think it took out, maybe it took out a battery or something.
Let me double check.
Yeah, it took out.
Oh, yeah. It just, battery was damaged and firebeam finished it off. As the howitzer comes in, slams it, damaging everything nearby. And then firebeam decides to finish off the damaged goods. Just enough to set the core down.
Tactical.
Batteries, remember guys, batteries always go next to the core. Batteries belong next to the core every time.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Yes, absolutely. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Team Veterans wins it, taking first place in the Forts Pro League, with Team Pro Aim taking a very close second place. Like, that was a great showing out of Helicopter and MCC.
It was. I'll be honest, there was part of me that was rooting for them, but at the same time, it's just, Eaton and Firework, so consistent, such great teamwork, and, they got knocked back a little bit a few times, and they still managed to come through in the end.
Absolutely. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, will wrap up the Forts Pro League Season 2 playoffs. Congratulations to all of our competitors here.
Absolutely.
Shout out to the veterans taking first place, Pro Aim taking second, Westwind taking third, and Greenleaf wrapping up with fourth.
Absolutely. And
go ahead.
A quick shout out to all of the other teams that played throughout the season. Thank you for your playing and being involved with the whole thing, and being patient through the whole thing. It was a big effort on for everybody involved, and a huge thanks to our admins that have been helping along the way, trying to keep everything running smoothly. Shout out to 42 and Rome and our other admins, and then I think shout out to our streamers, Salzwork, and a huge thank you to you, Incursus, for your unending support. We really appreciate everything you do for Forts, and it's just awesome.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you enjoy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up the Forts Pro League Season 2. And I'll see you guys next time.